smoke with the windows up. I hit the plug from a different number. I get the pack and then divvy up. I make the portions and I split it up. I know they mad, they ain't get enough. I got the backwood and I lit it up. Treat them like Pac when I hit them up. You should've known the highs and the lows. I'm out of my mind, I'm out of control. I hit the dash and nigga, I'm gone. Say I got the gas, let's get in the zone. Hit the road and do $150. Shake it slower when the cup hit me. Only keep some real company. What you need, I brought the plug with me. Lil' Kim, I was on some drugs, but she's sober now, thank you God above.
Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of The Cypher. We're going to skip the long intro for me this week. I'm the host of The Cypher, the owner of @𝐷aesthetic.com, 𝐷aesthetic.com, and as you know, every week I'm joined by one of Upstate's finest, Anthony Kannon. Yo, Ant, how you doing?
What's poppin', y'all? I was kind of stressed out before this. I'm not going to lie. Shit's cold. Had a long day. But we here now, and I'm happy to get the show on the road.
Yeah, bro, me too. And as always, we're joined by our boy Sheridan. He's definitely not feeling the cold weather, at least not yet. He's still chilling out in LA. How you doing, Sheridan?
I'm doing pretty well. I've just been getting back to like music creation. I've done probably 4 or 5 songs in the last week, including one I did with someone our podcast is pretty familiar with, Corey Loveless. And another frequent collaborator of mine, 𝐂𝐲𝐩𝐡𝐞𝐫. And so we worked on a song, we shot a video, so be on the lookout for that. A couple other things I've been working on, so I might be putting out some music a little sooner than I maybe expected to be.
And that's dope, dude. That's one of the, it's a weird way, but I'm kind of proud of you working with Corey just because, in a way, I put it to you the other day, it's like a kid from South Dakota brought a kid from Albany, and where are you from, Ithaca or Cortland, together in LA to make music. Like, that's the coolest thing Upstate Aesthetic has done so far, I think. So
I'm thankful. I'm, like, so thankful. It's, like, just a really amazing opportunity, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, it's super dope.
And I'm thankful to you, especially, Andrew, for coming up with this idea and even inviting me back after the first episode, deciding you wanted to make me a permanent host. I think that was like, that kind of totally changed, I mean, in a way, my life.
Dude, that's cool to hear. And as I mentioned, Sheridan was our first guest. This week we have a guest, Corey Loveless. He has some new music coming in the next couple weeks. He dropped a new track, Asterisk, a couple weeks ago that we previewed. He also had a big part in the show we did on Saturday, live from Yo Timeline. Without Corey and the guys at Dim 136, we probably would have been short a couple of sets. So we were fortunate enough to have Corey help us out with all of that. Everything came together, and it was a really good show. So how you doing, Corey?
I'm good, man. Chilling. Today's a day off work and be back in the studio tomorrow. Just hanging out.
That's what's up, man. It's always nice to take a minute to just relax, especially during everything that's been going on. Myself, I kind of took this morning to just hang out and watch a little bit of TV. I haven't binge-watched anything during this pandemic. I've decided to get into 𝐂𝐲𝐩 and haven't been able to stop. So I had to put it down for about an hour or two today so we could put the podcast together. But
facts.
I love 𝐂𝐲𝐩, man. That's been the show I've been obsessed with lately.
For sure.
I'm about to dive into that. I just finished all of Waco, but that shit was wild.
I just watched that too. I watched Waco right after 𝐂𝐲𝐩. That shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I had Waco on in the background, so I didn't pay a ton of attention to it, but I binged through that like a week ago just because it was pretty crazy.
Bro. Waco,
back, watch it.
It starts slow, but it gets way better.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'll have to check that out. Well, check it out again because, like I said, I didn't pay full attention to it. Some stuff everyone needs to check out. We have a bunch of new music dropping out of Upstate this week. Shout out to 607 Sound for this information. They threw it up on Facebook today and made it really easy for me. We got One You Want by Matthew Cornwell that just dropped. We got 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐡𝐞𝐫 Infinito by Process. We got Lost Ones by Ty Burst, which is really dope. I'm going to let y'all know we'll be previewing that one next week just because Ty Burst is one of my favorite artists out of Upstate. And then something we'll be previewing today, we got Like That from JJ Wolf. So a lot of big things going on in Upstate. Everybody's staying busy. We got Big Dog video coming from 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐡𝐞𝐫 and Scar Studios. So it's a lot going on in Upstate, and I'm happy to hear it.
Man, it's progressive right now. And it's dope to see how many artists are utilizing this time off to their benefit. I think on the first episode, we brought up the idea that this was going to separate certain artists from each other, the workhorses from the ones who do this casually. And I don't think that's happened. I think every fucking body's a workhorse. and we're finding that out real quick.
No
and
doubt.
there's no doubt. And if you're tuning in right now and you make music, send some shit to me. Submit it to a Spotify playlist, especially if you got a new release. With all these new joints coming out, I'd love to get some new fire in my playlist.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a ton of new music, and we got a bunch of stuff to preview this week. I think we've probably got more music to talk about this week from Upstate than we have any other week. But we have a bunch of other stuff we got to talk about first. The one thing I do want to talk about, not to pat myself on the back, but I do want to talk about Live From Your Timeline for a couple of minutes, just how dope of a show it was. We got a tremendous response, sitting at about 7.5 thousand views on Facebook. That's a testament to what everybody else put in, I feel like. All the artists and everybody. I helped produce, make it look a little bit more visually appealing, but all the artists produced really great music. There were great sets from everyone. Corey Alexander, his set wasn't able to make the live feed, but if you missed it, you could catch that on YouTube, and that's a dope set. So there was so much great stuff that came out of that show. Corey and Anthony were a part of it. What was the process like for you guys, I guess?
Go ahead, Corey.
Shit was wild, bro. I didn't realize how much work actually I was about to put into making a live stream. But like, it's really extremely hard getting like 5 people in a room together. So as 136 all booked together, I was like, I'd hit them up, and like, as per usual, it's difficult to get us for shows like all together. Like, I think we've only all been together for one live show. So I really wanted everybody there for a live stream. So Thursday, I hit up everybody, or it was like weeks beforehand, and I hit up everybody to be there for Thursday. Then JJ ended up having to work, so I canceled Thursday, and we pushed it back to Saturday because Friday no one was free. So it was supposed to be Saturday morning. Then King hit me and was like, nah, I got to work in the morning on Saturday. So we pushed it back to like 4 p.m. on Saturday. Right. And then I was driving out to get Ryan. Then Ant hit me and was like, yo, I haven't been able to record my shit yet. So I scooped Ant, scooped Ryan, got to the studio. We recorded it. My ass was rushing trying to record my shit. And I lost all of the audio for it. So we just put the original like recorded versions of the songs and like chopped it up. It was wild, but
it came together all right. Your guys' set came together really well. There was a ton of unreleased Dim tracks that were really fucking sweet. Like I said in one of the comment sections, Dim shined that night. You guys did a really great job.
I love y'all together so much.
Yeah, I heard a majority of the 136 album that night, but Ryan Process ended up editing that whole shit, like all the video that you saw. That was Process.
Together really well. There was a ton of yeah, and you guys did a really good. Like it was dope. And then Ant, obviously, you linked up with them and were able to put something together last minute. And it wasn't just you guys. There were quite a few people who had me feeling pretty anxious. And I'm not gonna lie, I was last minute and putting a lot of the production parts together too. So I was kind of communicating that with Corey. I was like, I'm not even really stressing over everyone else as much as trying to get the last minute visual touches done. But everything came together really good. Ant, what was your experience like?
My experience was fucking hell, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that shit, that turnout was beautiful. But I was losing my mind in the couple days leading up because I wasn't trying to go last minute. I didn't expect to have to record my video the day of. I had shot the video numerous different times from my iPhone, from my laptop, with a mic, without a mic. So my shit was really weird. I even edited some video that you guys will never see. But I'm glad that Andrew let me know that we should probably go a different route. Everything turned out okay. Corey was coincidentally coming down to Ithaca right when I was talking to Andrew. So if it was 20 minutes later, who knows what the case would have been. I think that the end result was more than enough proof to do something like this again, whether a shutdown happens or not. I think even when this shit clears up, I think that this is something that artists could pursue. And you set the stone for that, Andrew. So good shit.
Yeah, it was dope. We like I said after that too. We'll do another one for sure down the line. But everyone that night, they set the tone for the next one that it's gonna have to bring. They're gonna have to bring it, and I'm sure there's plenty of other upstate artists to bring in to another show that can bring it. But it was a great showing. It was a really fun time. I on Monday when we did the replay on YouTube, I sat down and watched it from top to bottom. And it was a lot more fluent. There wasn't, just because it was set to set to set. And it was so dope. So I think everybody really killed it. Everybody had so much energy. And I appreciate everyone for working together with that, everyone for tuning in. There was a lot of work that went into that over the last month or so. And it was very stressful, like these guys said. But we all came together and made something really, really dope. And the turnout was fantastic, too. So it was awesome.
Absolutely, man. And Corey, I just want to say, and shout out to anybody in DIM 136 if they're watching. I felt pretty honored that I got to watch y'all record y'all set. Y'all energy and chemistry whenever you guys are together is something that's really beautiful and that the whole area needs more of. Feel me? Like I think you guys are doing a really dope thing as a unit, and a lot of people could look at that and build from it.
No doubt. We're just like a bunch of friends who love rap music. So, like, that comes out anytime we're all together. It comes out on the record, too. Like, we're just in a home studio that we built, fucking around, like, having fun with this music shit. And 136 taught me how to have fun making music.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta be having fun when you're making music.
It's dumb serious. And, like, those dudes taught me how to, like, go in the studio and, like, maybe freestyle some shit. Maybe just fuck around, not be so serious with it. Just have a good time. And that's the vibe of our sets.
Absolutely. And they push you, too. It's not just about the fun. I've seen them push you to be the best you that you could be. And everybody needs some friends like that.
That man process. Every time we're in the studio together. Every time that man pushes everybody he's around to be great.
It's good to have someone like that behind you for sure. We're talking about having fun making music. Let's talk about one guy who's been having a lot of fun on social media, the internet, making music. If you missed it today, somehow you didn't tune in, I gotta ask. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? Like, I mean, I don't know. Tekashi 69, we had 2 million people tuned into his Instagram live. If you hated it, if you loved it. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? What you guys think?
Yo, bro, niggas just tuned out.
These are mad people who didn't want to hear anything from that track. They're mad as fuck right now.
That was so funny. I did not know that was about to happen. What you think, Sheridan? I'm very interested in what you thought.
So the first time I listened to it, I was like, this is dope. And by like the third time I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, bro, this is exactly what he needed to do. It's a hit. It's everything it needed to be. When you watch the video, it's everything it needed to be. He pulled it when he did the little rat thing, the little rat emoji type thing on his face, like all that, bro. He clearly knows what he's doing. The song is a hit. I bumped to the song multiple times today. I think it's fun. I don't know. I that's all I gotta say, I guess. I think he did exactly what he needed to do.
I get that. That's a take. That's a take. How many times you think you bumped it already?
Like 10, probably.
10? You're lying.
I don't blame him neither, but I've probably bumped it like 4 times. But it's because I know it makes my girl mad. So.
Oh, bro.
Yo, Corey, what you think?
Bro, I think he did exactly what he needed to do. There's no way he could come out on some soft shit and not. Look, Tekashi thrives off of being hated, and I feel like that's not. I feel like everybody thinks that if they hate him more, he'll go away. This man's entire career has been built off of being hated, so this whole shit is only gonna give him more clout.
And
His Instagram Live had 2 million people viewing it. People are going to keep watching him for the spectacle. If you really hate him, bro, stop talking about him. Stop sharing him. But, like...
That's all you could do in terms of that, really, I think. Is ignore it.
Bro, it's hard to ignore. I made a Facebook... I made a status earlier that ruffled a couple feathers amongst my friend community. But all I was saying is, like, there's people complaining about it while sharing the video.
Exactly.
And doing this and that, you feel me? Like, what are you doing? You're only contributing to it. You feel me?
At the end of the day, bro, he's an entertainer. And what he's genius about is flipping any hatred, any controversy into a fucking drama shitstorm. So people have to watch it, bro. It's like a reality TV show, his life. People are addicted to watching everything he does. Like, that's how he makes millions. Like, this song was genius. The whole rat face emoji over it, his team just rolled that shit out perfect.
I mean, bro, I think from top to bottom, this is it. Like, and I listened to it one time. I might listen to it again. I'm not planning on listening to it again. I got all the thoughts I needed off of listening to the song and the video one time. I think it was easily one of Tekashi's best songs, top to bottom.
Facts.
Like, I think that I heard him rap the first time without screaming. He's done that before, but he's never rapped in a way where he's like just rapping. You feel me? It's always been some sort of club, auto-tune, vibe related type thing. I felt like he took a second, even though the lyrics were type shitty. They were relevant, but they weren't very witty or complex. I think that he actually sat down and took more time with this song than any other one that he's done. I think the video is exactly what Tekashi needed. I'm not sure what's going to happen after this, but I think combined with the video and the Instagram Live, like the only way that Tekashi's getting stopped is if somebody kills him. A lot of people think that he's gonna the buzz is gonna fade away because it's not gonna be as relevant. Like, he might, I don't know what his goals are. He might only want to do another 2 years in the game, then hop out. But I think that he has enough energy right now to ride this wave for a while.
I don't think it was one of his best songs or his best song.
I think so.
I think he's done way better songs. Like, I just think it was the perfect song for the time, but I think he has way better songs than that.
I knew that the thing that would separate all of us would be how many times we listened to it. I had a strong feeling about that early on, that Ant would probably only listen to it once, maybe twice. I probably tuned in about 3 or 4, like I said. It definitely is. I like Tekashi's music, especially when I'm just in a bad mood, because he's always screaming and pissed off. So it kind of helps offset my mood in a way. And it also, I know that, like, it's the weird thing about Tekashi, like, coming from the Midwest especially, when I go to work, people will play his music just to fuck with everyone around them. Like, that's all. It's not even, it's troll music to then troll people around you. So when I say it makes my girlfriend mad, it's just trolling her by playing the music. But at the same time, like, the part that I played, the little drop, the "Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb?" I liked that part, but it's like 5 seconds. So I clipped it. I could hear that if I want to hear it, and the rest of it, I'm just good on.
Tekashi is really good at making songs. So that have replay value. You can listen to them and get turned really on any occasion. So when I say that this is one of his best songs, I'm not saying I'm going to bump this more than Cool. I've listened to almost every Tekashi song that he's dropped because I used to be a decent fan of him. I wasn't like following Tekashi on everything he did, but when he dropped something, I pay attention. I knew the lyrics. I thought he was pretty dope. I've known about him for a while. But I think that this is his most thought out song ever. I think that this is the most time he's ever sat down with something and constructed something trying to, like, with a point almost I've ever heard from Tekashi. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. I think from an articulating standpoint, he obviously could have did better, but what do you expect from him? He articulated himself in the way he's done for the past 2 years, which is telling niggas suck his dick. And I'm here to do me, and you got to kill me. Like, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy.
Did you happen to catch? I mean, I probably know the answer to this, but did you catch any of his Instagram live, or any of you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually saw before it hit 1 mil, and I watched it count. I watched it get to 2 mil.
What'd you think of his like faux apology, like his fake apology? Like it was. He different.
Wasn't. I mean, yo, I don't think it was a fake apology. I think he apologized for what he thought he needed to. Like, he doesn't have much he's sorry for at all. Like, he would do this again if it was the same situation, I think. I don't know what else people expect him to say. I think Tekashi, after the day's over, has won more brownie points and respect points from the masses than he did lose anything. My opinions about the situation hasn't changed at all. I'm just going to sit back and just watch as this shit unravels because it's interesting to see. But I think that he did a great job of convincing people his side of the story. I mean, support in the comments as it was live, I could barely see any hate at all. It was just overwhelming support. So
the only real hate came from like Facebook posts that in the end just ended up promoting him, like we've already said. Like that's only, and that hate doesn't really, that's like we've said, he turns it into something positive, a net positive for himself.
And you got to think about it. That's Facebook, like compared to what his like really like what his demographic is. That song, like, we haven't really talked about this, but that song is going to go crazy on TikTok. Are you stupid or dumb? Or like, bro, are you kidding? Like, that's literally going to be so many TikToks, like, little girls are going to make. Are you stupid? Like, they're just going to do weird little dances, weird little, like, fucking skits to it. Like, that shit is, like,
I mean,
Facebook. He does not care about Facebook, bro. He does not care about Facebook.
He doesn't.
Instagram, TikTok, all that shit is where he's blowing up.
As long as the female community still likes Tekashi, he will forever have a fan base. He will always have a successful music career because I haven't seen too many men that are sitting there like, okay, I really fucks with this. And I haven't seen too many girls that are affected by him snitching because they feel like it was the right thing to do. I see tons of niggas in the comments like, why would he go to jail over somebody that's disloyal to him? But I see mothers, I see aunts sitting there like, if this was my son, there's no chance. Like, he did the right thing. You feel me? I think a lot of people in general are just going to side with Tekashi with this after the IG Live, whether that's right or wrong.
Yeah, he did a good job with the IG Live and what he said on it. Like his apology, like I said, it was a full apology, but at the same time, it was an apology that's enough for people, like whether he meant it or not, it's enough for people to take it and be like, well, if someone was sleeping with my baby mother, how would I feel? If someone was trying to kill my mom, how would I feel? And just those simple parts of it, when there's literally a lot more to it. Like, you got yourself into it. Let's talk about all of that shit. But so he's avoiding the hot topics, which is enough to make his demographic be like, well, fuck it. And even other people who might not be his demographic. For
me, that's the argument. Like, I guess it's not the same argument, but it reminds me a little bit of the argument of like, oh, like he got into drugs, that's his fault. You know what I mean? Like, just because he got, like, 6ix9ine got himself involved in that situation doesn't mean that he can't, like, turn himself, like, not that he's going to turn himself around, but, like, that doesn't mean that it's everything that happened as a result of him deciding to get involved with that is his fault. He probably never thought that people were going to try to, like, kill him, or people were going to put a hit on him, or people were going to be stealing his money. Like, that's not something that he admitted what?
He admitted in the live that he only wanted the gang for protection. He did not grow up a gangbanger. He was not hard. He said like 2 sentences that confirmed all of that in his own words. You feel me? So he did not go in there with the intentions that this was going to do anything except boost him at all. But I think it's a lot of people were saying like, why would I go to jail for this person that's disloyal? You're not going to jail for this person. You're going to jail for the consequences of your actions. But then again, if you're not a street nigga, then you don't involve yourself in the politics of that world. You don't. you don't have to abide by that code. It's fucked up. Most people don't abide by that code, and a lot of people say they will, but they won't. I see a lot of like he say, she say, I wouldn't do this, you would do that. Like it's bullshit. None of these niggas will ever be and will never be in these positions.
There's a lot of people on the book claiming they would take all the charges, wouldn't say nothing, ain't worried about nothing, like all over the comments and everything. There's people all over saying that shit. So it's just it's a thing in general. Not on our feed, Sheridan, but in general.
I was about to say
that would be an interesting conversation if we had people commenting that. But like I think in general though, people do have, especially like hardcore hip hop fans, they realize that 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 should have done things different, but being put in that position, what would you do? And a lot of people would do things differently, but definitely not everybody. So like someone like me wouldn't ever end up in that position to begin with. And I think that's what most people's point is. Like, don't get yourself in that position to begin with, and none of this would even be a question. The funny thing about it is it's probably going to make him a bigger star for as long as he's alive.
Easy. What? This will be one of the, this will be the top 3 most important moments of 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫's career, if not the biggest moment of 𝐂𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫's career. Like that, this is the, I don't know.
I feel like 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 is still the most important point of his career, but I'd say this is second.
People remember this more than 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 10 years from now.
True.
They will talk about 2 million on Instagram forever.
But this couldn't have happened. This couldn't have happened without 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫.
I'm just talking about the 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 will get mentioned in the documentary of 𝐂𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫, but this will have a whole segment. This
I agree. No, I can agree. I totally agree with that. I'm just saying the reason that I find 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 more significant is because none of this would have happened without 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that. Corey, what do you feel about this shit?
Bro, I honestly think that after this, it proves that 𝐂𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫 is not falling off anytime soon. After I watched the Instagram live and his shit hit 2 million. Like at this point, he's just a spectacle. People are always gonna watch him for the drama of every piece of his actions, and anything he does, he's just gonna do it on that shit, say suck my dick, and people will hate him for it. But it's all the part of his brand, bro. Like, he's not going to be falling off anytime soon, no matter what, like, hood motherfuckers say the street code is, any of that shit.
The only way he falls off anytime soon is if he literally dies. Like, and even then, he's still going to blow up for like 6 more months, a year after that. So he's a star, for a while.
I'm not putting
he shot that shit in his backyard. And I thought it was smart of him to set up a set in his backyard. So motherfuckers still don't know his location. There was no indicating.
I think that there was a lot of people on that set, though. That was the interesting part to me. Like, obviously, people got to sign NDAs or whatever, but he's involving a lot of people in his music videos that will talk if given the right financial incentive or even a different incentive as well. So
yeah, if this nigga breaks Jade's heart, she's got him tatted all over his body.
Yep.
She loves this nigga to death. She probably held him down out of prison. If she got spiteful enough, she could easily do something to harm 𝐂𝐂𝐞𝐫.
But I feel like he's got. I don't know for sure.
I'm just saying, like, hypothetical situations. Like his.
No, I know. I agree, but like I feel like, but for someone to, if he's on house arrest, bro, he's probably got so many they need like a SWAT team basically to come in and be able to assassinate 𝐂𝐂𝐞𝐫. I feel like
he has to get that money, bro. He's not broke, but he is not the 𝐂𝐂𝐞𝐫 wealth that he had before. He is.
No, what are you talking about, bro? When he went into prison, he didn't even have his first royalty check. He didn't even have his first royalty check from his album when he went into prison. He came home to all the money from his album.
𝐂𝐂𝐞𝐫 was guaranteed to be a multi-millionaire, tens of millions of dollars. I'm saying right now, he has to build that back up. He's not guaranteed that money.
But he's going. I feel like this is what we're talking about. Like he's
doing it. He's doing it right now. But I'm saying he has to build that back up. You feel me? Like it's different,
bro. Do you realize the second he came home, he purchased like 3 whips, a new chain, all that.
Why? He ain't going
that
nowhere. That's what got me. You ain't going nowhere. You got to stay home, bro. Why you getting new cars for?
You can go out.
But he just had 3 whips that he hasn't been able to drive with. That house that he's living in is new. He moved.
You could have security, bro, but if you have that much security, you obviously have caught the best deal that you can. You're either gonna get the most you can of the best security or a fucking army of fucking low budget niggas. You feel me? And all it takes is for one low budget nigga to fuck up. All it takes is for you to have one rat in your circle, and he doesn't even have to have bad intentions. He just slip up one night. I'm just saying, so many different hypotheticals could lead to his location.
I mean, yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, they smoke Pop Smoke for way less.
It's crazy that he was able to pull this many people in the middle of a Friday afternoon. That's what was the craziest thing to me. I know it's the middle of a pandemic, not everybody's working and shit, but getting 2 million people to tune into your live at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, so that's noon in LA. Like, yeah, it's lunchtime, but it's not easy to get people to tune in on a Friday in general, let alone a Friday afternoon. I think it just kind of blows me away.
I mean, I thought the whole time watching it that Instagram was gonna crash. I did not think that because they crashed at 300-something thousand.
Yep.
Like, I know that they did something to fix it, but I did not think it was gonna withhold everybody.
And by the time he got to 2 million, it was like it was getting a little off sync and stuff. So they were probably getting close.
Who the fuck do you think could get more than 2 million? Like, who? Like, Michael Jackson's not alive. So Donald Trump could probably go live on Instagram and get 2 million.
So what you're telling me, Ant, is that the real king of New York, Lil TJ, ain't pulling in 2 million viewers on Instagram Live? Is that what you were saying?
Lil TJ ain't getting 200,000.
That's a solid. It's a solid transition to our next topic, right? Lil TJ's been ruffling a lot of people's feathers, trying to be 𝐂𝐲𝐩𝐿 6ix9ine Jr., running around telling everybody that he's the king of New York. I don't know if you guys saw the clip. He filmed a music video at one point, was really shook up by someone barely touching him. So he was a little nervous about his words. But TJ dropped a project this week too. So let's talk about his antics before we talk about the music. What do you guys think of what TJ was trying to do this week to get people to tune in?
I don't know TJ like that. I'm familiar with a bunch of his songs, but I've never dove into his personality or background like I have a lot of different artists. So I don't know if this is consistent with his character or not. But it's not gonna work for him. He's not gonna outclout 𝐂𝐲𝐩. I mean, he couldn't even outclout 𝐴 Boogie. He would have a hard time outclouting, or even just like J.I. the Prince. You feel me? Like there's a lot of. No, I'm saying there's a clout was a bad word. That's why I try to switch it up at the end. But he is nowhere near the king of New York. And I think saying this shit.
But he's bigger than 𝐴 Boogie right now.
Says it. 𝐂𝐲𝐩, people like that have a case when they say it. So I think he's making more of a target on his back in a negative way than anything.
Okay, I think he sounds dumb, but he's bigger than 𝐴 Boogie right now, and he's way bigger than J.I.
Bro, that's recency bias. He is not bigger than 𝐴 Boogie. That is recency bias, bro. You're tripping. You're absolutely out your mind.
It's easy to say he's bigger than 𝐴 Boogie when the 𝐴 Boogie's past 2-3 projects have flopped.
Lil TJ will come to,
and they're gonna continue to flop.
Yeah.
If I had 10 racks in cash, maybe even 7,500, I could get Lil TJ to come here and do a show in my fucking living room, bro. 𝐴 Boogie is it's a different price range, bro.
You're crazy.
You're talking about flop projects, though. I mean, we're gonna talk about State of Emergency here in a minute, but I don't think that really delivered in any way. And my biggest issue with it is you want to call yourself the king of New York, but you need a whole bunch of lower level New York artists to fill out your project. It was weird to me. I mean, I get the point of it because the New York vibe. But you can't go out calling yourself the king of New York and drop a project just with a bunch of New York features, some of them sounding better than you on the project, because you don't win that way. I get the king of New York gimmick is just to pull people into what you're doing anyway. He can't really actually believe that, which is why he was apologizing days later, which was too late. The people were already pissed, but it's just the king of New York thing is what caught me the most, and then to deliver with this project, I was like, what the fuck?
Well, What?
Then he
Remind me what A Boogie project was good.
bro.
His first
So you telling me
artist? That was it though.
Are you telling Are you telling me Lil TJ is better than A Boogie? I prefer to listen to Lil TJ sometimes over A Boogie, but they're different classes, bro. That's his.
Okay, I'm comparing like garbage to shit right now.
Don't get it twisted.
But I would rather listen to Lil TJ. I think Lil TJ has more staying power than A Boogie does.
You're out of your mind.
I think this little blow up that TJ had is going to set him back on that staying power thing because he didn't deliver with a project that was of quality of saying shit like that or behaving like that.
Bad reviews for this project from the masses. I've seen a couple people who absolutely love it, but I've seen most people that were claiming. I've seen people turn on him.
Yeah. All he needs is New York. All he needs is New York. New York. That's all he needs.
That's just carried by Fabio.
I'm gonna check the first week numbers after. I want to check the first week numbers and come back from A Boogie's last project. What his like fifth, sixth to this to is this TJ's debut?
No. TJ outdid A Boogie's last project on the same day.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
The main issue from both of them, from A Boogie and Lil TJ, that I personally have is that they're so one note. Like I can't see myself listening to a few more Lil TJ projects or a few more A Boogie projects. After you listen to two of them, you get it. Like that's the whole shit.
Because they can do different shit, bro. A Boogie can really rap, and TJ raps.
Protect Your is my favorite song with A Boogie on it. He can rap. I fuck with him.
Hey, but bro, if you check any radio freestyle, if you check the Quiet Storm freestyles, the old shit that A Boogie used to do, this nigga can rap, bro.
I agree. He just doesn't.
Yeah. He has to, as a rapper and somebody that can do both things, he gets his bread and butter from one thing. So he has to motivate himself to do something else. You feel me?
But
he's not going to sell the same if he does a rap project. So in his mind, he
does if it's good. He does if it's good though. No, people are tired of his sound.
He will not sell the same.
But he's not selling right now.
He's been doing the same melody for years.
He's not selling.
He has to reinvent himself, bro. But I don't think that A Boogie, if he dropped a rap project, it would sell the same.
Just switch it up.
Yeah.
Switch it up.
I guarantee you, if he did a rap project and it was fire, it would sell better than his last two albums.
I don't think his last two album sales were. Are you included? Is that Hoodie Season? The two albums?
If Hoodie Season was 2 albums ago, then I might be capping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this last album was a flop. I really dislike this last project.
It was disgusting.
I can't count A Boogie out because of 2 bad projects. You feel me?
I gagged throughout the whole thing. I made myself listen to the whole thing, and it was awful. My ears almost bled. Terrible.
Brother,
Roddy
2 bad projects back to back. Come on, bro. There's artists who have done way less and been counted out. Like
I think A Boogie has some really good connections around him, and he's built such a network. And he really is talented. I don't think that he's out, bro. I think that he could get whoever he wants on a song. He just chooses such fucking weird people. And when he does choose a good person, it's normally the same person. You feel me? Like he gets caught in a lot of traps. But I think that if he hasn't separated himself from Lil TJ, which I think he really, really has. Like I'm very surprised I'm having this conversation. I think it will be done in the next year or so.
Yeah, and the comment section for the most part is agreeing with Ant and probably myself and Corey. I think a little bit that Boogie definitely stands out a little bit more than TJ. And it's weird for me because I haven't known a whole lot about Lil TJ until the last 6 months or so. I thought this project was going to do something to sort of impress me, and everyone compares him with A Boogie so much that and I'm a big A Boogie fan, that I was kind of looking forward to this, like, oh, I'm going to hear someone doing this sound really well. And I'm going to be honest with you, from that project, all I was thinking was that Dami LaFleur does that sound better than Lil TJ does, and at the level of A Boogie. Like, and that's an upstate New York artist. There was nothing from this project from TJ that really like made me understand the hype behind him. And maybe I need to check some of his older projects, and I know I'll find some of his songs and realize, oh shit, that was him. I didn't realize that. But TJ has never been someone who stood out to me, and this comparison to A Boogie has always been confusing to me because, like, in the mainstream especially, Boogie has it. And I mean, if we're comparing the music, I don't know. I'd have to check for more TJ, but I don't understand it, I guess, a lot of the time. Because, and even the numbers, because I don't think the numbers add up. And the one thing TJ has going for him, he's still relatively new, and he's way younger. And I think that's the biggest thing with his antics this week was he's just a young kid who don't have anybody telling him, like, yo, don't call out all of New York because you're not at that level yet. Don't go buy a high bridge train and pretend you stole it. Like, the shit TJ was doing this week was next level stupid, trying to get himself killed. Like,
but this is the reason why he's doing it and it's not because of you, Sheridan, obviously, but because people are so quickly putting him over A Boogie and other people that are way more established, way more proven than him. He's letting everything get to his head. I don't think he did this just for clout. I think he believes he's the best in New York right now. Like, you can't tell him different. You give a nigga $1 million and a big fan base, why wouldn't he think he's the best in the fucking... And, like, he
should feel that way.
But
he's a rapper.
You should feel that way, but when you start portraying it as if it's true to everybody, you're going to get a lot of enemies if you don't deliver. If he could have shut the fuck up and put out this project, and people probably would have been okay. They wouldn't have been as mad, but... Like I said, a couple people like it. I saw a lot of people hated it. I don't hate it. I just don't feel like you can talk like this and then do shit like this. And people say, like, people putting him above others is like, it's crazy. But
so I just looked. A Boogie has no top 10s. Lil TJ has a top 10.
That's what's up.
I'll just add that.
No, that's fair, bro. You got some numbers for us, and that proves a little bit of a point, I think. But I think, like, what Ant's saying is 100% right, and it definitely defines me to a T. If TJ didn't go out last week saying all of this reckless shit, doing all these crazy things, I would probably be coming in here being like, oh, I haven't really listened to Lil TJ this much. I liked this track. This is what I liked from him. Instead, I came in with whole different expectations because you want to call yourself the king of New York. I'm expecting to hear... If it's 7 tracks, it's got to be 5 hits. Like, you want to be the king. That's what you want to call yourself.
Let me just clarify again. I don't fucking like Lil TJ. Like, yeah. I don't think Lil TJ is good. I just am comparing someone that I think's really bad to someone that I think's even worse.
For sure. And that's fair. And I'm actually getting ready to change the topic so Sheridan can stop feeling like it's the three of us attacking him while comparing shit to shit.
No. I don't mind it.
You're good. We do got to talk about some local music that has dropped. The first track I want to talk about is a track from a local artist named Blane Bent. We haven't talked about Blane yet on here, but I've seen him on my timeline a ton of times. I've been waiting for him to drop some new stuff just because he's so unique. So let's go ahead and drop this new track from Blane.
Chefing his up on the stove and then we adios. Niggas chatting for some help, but they ain't even close. The head honcho and a poncho be a AVO. Hey, bang, why you wanna play these games? Whole time you had my flame. The mask on, I'm going bang. Fame, the drug that make you go insane. I don't wanna feel no pain. Pop that, I'ma pop champagne. Play ain't gon' trip now, I'm feeling great. Hey, hey, hey. Do it for me, do it, hey. Okay, do it for me, do it, hey. Okay. Big mama, where you at? Saw you walking, looking like a whole snack. Let me see you wine, know you fine, no cap. Once it bring it back, bounce back like that, Babe, why you wanna play these games? Whole time you had my flame. The mask on, I'm going bang. Fame, the drug that make you go insane. I don't wanna feel no pain. Pop that, I'ma them $2 hoes. Sometimes I feel like I'm T out of paper trail on the floor. Man, what you know about that? I'm the king with the flow. Knew that when she was at the new, know it was time to go. Okay, pull up on my grown ass man. Ain't no need for 2v1, I've had just up my hands. Gotta cool her like 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫, I'm a diplomat. Me show my ass on the internet where they do that at. I was at the strip club trying to throw a dollar. She was up and down the pole, girl, that pussy fire. At the bar, taking shots now.
And believe it or not, that was actually a snippet. That track, the full track is 5 minutes, so we only played about 2 minutes of that. So we'll call it a snippet of Blane's latest track. I don't even know how to pronounce the name of that. He is super unique, and I appreciate that from him. Out of everyone in Upstate, he really sets himself apart in that way and being a new, unique artist.
Facts. Blane's like, out of the Upstate artists that I know of, he's definitely one of my favorites and one of the artists I want to work with the most. I've just been like, I haven't had the right song. I want it to be the right song, and once I find it, I'm gonna send him something. But I love that. I listened to that a couple hours ago. There's like, it's 5 minutes, which at first I was like, damn, bro, 5 minutes. But it switches up to like a whole different like vibe. But then he kind of brings in a little bit of the hook in the background from the beginning. I don't know. I think it's a fucking dope song. I almost always love what Blane does. I think he's a really cool dude too. I've had some pretty long conversations with him. I think he's a really interesting and down to earth type of guy. I think the song's great, and I'm excited to hear what he continues to do. Because I agree, he's one of the most unique that we have. I think he can rap, he can sing, he can do a lot of different things. And by the way, he definitely has the most, at least from what I've seen, the most fire cover art in the area. His cover art's crazy, bro.
Oh, he's up there, bro. But there's like some niggas with Corey's in that class. Like Corey, Blane, Damiano, and Kelsey have my favorite cover arts from this area. Like you're
yeah, no, I do like his shit.
Kelsey's set, Damiano's painting is fucking crazy, bro. Like, and Blane's shit's just so creative. But I don't want to take this away from Blane's song. So, were you done with your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm done.
Corey, what were your thoughts?
Bro, Blane is so fucking unique. It's crazy. Every track is like a roll of the dice on like what you're gonna get from him, and I love just like tuning in and hearing what crazy shit he's cooking up with D Brown, because that shit's absolutely insane. And not on top of the fact of Blane being like an amazing artist, he's such a super genuine dude who supports like fucking everybody in the area. So like, shout out to Blane for that.
Yeah, buddy. Blane is somebody that we got to give his roses early. I'm not sure if many people know this, but I've been in tune with the local scene for a long time. I've been trying to rap for fucking forever. When I was doing YouTube videos, throwing them up at 11, 12, and 13, Bravo, like he used to be Bravo Blane. He was doing shows, has posters everywhere over town. He was one of like the most known artists that I can remember from that time. And so he's an OG in this, bro. Like he's somebody that motivated myself when I was young. So it's crazy for me to think about how long he's been doing this. And then two, that he's in the best shape of his career right now, music-wise. He's making the best music that I've ever heard from him. And it's just like working out. It's almost like muscle memory. It's not even, it doesn't seem like he's straining himself or trying too hard. He's just doing a lot of it. He's taking the things that he's best at and applying them while also trying something new.
I forgot to mention this. I think he performed at least the first half of this song at the show at the Haunt. And cause I remember when it turned on, I'm like, I know this. Like, this is dope. I started singing it and I was like, wait a second. He performed this at the Haunt. And it's a hit. I really like it.
Yeah, bro. Like, and to speak about his connection with D Brown, like I've been working with D Brown for almost a decade now, and Bravo crushes that, bro. Like Bravo and him have refined a sound from the ground. I've used a bunch of different engineers throughout the time. I'm sure Bravo has too, but him and D Brown are like this, bro. It's family. It's more than an engineer relationship. I think that where his sound is right now, he's like sonically, I love his shit. It's crazy.
Me too.
Hey, shout out to D Brown. D Brown's probably like one of the best engineers in the area.
Easy. What? Easily. There's no doubt he's one of the best engineers.
No doubt.
There's
no doubt. If you're an artist listening to this and you need your shit niced up, go to D Brown.
Yeah, buddy. When all this is over.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to D Brown and shout out to Blane too. Like I said, that track was very unique. That's the one thing that has stood out for him, for me, from the very beginning. That and like you guys said, his cover art is always dope. So he's really good at what he does, and it's cool to see. JJ Wolf just said he was at his first studio session. So like Blaine's been around and helping the younger artists too. You mentioned it, like so it's cool to see that. Like
when I was 16. And I had a radio interview with 𝐂𝐲𝐡𝐞 in Smack Records, and we got to the radio. Bravo was there, and Bravo was the fucking star. Like, you know, like he was talking on the mic. He was politicking with everybody, like shaking hands. Like I was peeping game. So like I've learned a decent amount from homie. Shout out to Bravo. I'm just glad that he's still doing his thing.
And he continues to do it at such a high pace and a really good job with it too. The next track we got to preview is from an artist named 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐿. He sent me this track on Instagram earlier this week. I believe it came out within the last week or so. It's called Invisible. Let's play that for you guys.
Yeah, I used to be invisible. I used to be invisible, but now they all see me. Got kids looking up to me, some of them wanna be me. I still got a couple wishes, need a bottle and a genie. Taking trips to foreign places, fucking models in bikinis. I used to be invisible, but now they all see me. Got kids looking up to me, some of them wanna be me. I still got a couple wishes, need a bottle and a genie. Taking trips to foreign places, fucking models in bikinis. My life done changed now. We at the table, we ain't ordering no takeout. I'm staying up so I can eat, man, it's a stakeout. And we got clocks up in the spot cause it's the safe house. We let them fly, you getting rowdy, we won't shake out. I ain't got the time, this my year, I'm about to break out. I ain't signing nothing unless they coming with the payout. It's quarantine time and when it's over, y'all can stay out. I don't think you listening. I've been working on my social distancing. I've been by myself, so I'm fine without you visiting. Friendly in my face, behind my back, I hear you giggling. Could never set me up, cause you ain't got the right position. Me invisible, but now they all see me. Got kids looking up to me, some of them wanna be me. I still got a couple wishes, need a bottle and a genie. Taking trips to foreign places, fucking models in bikinis. I used to be invisible, but now they all see me. Got kids looking up to me, some of them wanna be me. I still got a couple wishes, need a bottle and a genie. Taking trips to foreign places, fucking models in bikinis. Now my life is dreamy. I gotta get that cheese while it's hot. I need that ziti. I'm focused in the lab and you keep walking in like Didi. Better get your feature now, cause when I blow it ain't no freebies. I've been eating my Wheaties, so go tell all the ops I said fuck them, ain't no treaties. When bullets hit your kidneys, it ain't sweet like diabetes. I come from the QC, yeah, I got roots like 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐿.
That's Invisible by 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐿. You can find the full track on any of your streaming services, Spotify, all that good stuff. Shout out to 𝐂𝐲𝐿 for sending me that track via Instagram. Always appreciate it when someone sends something in. Makes it a lot easier for us. I know what to preview. What'd you guys think?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I thought it was dope. I tried to listen to all the songs before the show, but I don't remember listening to that one. So that was a nice surprise. I really thought that it sounded really smooth. I thought some of the lyrics were really clever. I think my biggest critique would be that he could have like maybe on the second verse done like a little bit of a different flow. Maybe like if I wanted to hear him sing high. I don't know if he can, but like maybe do the same flow, but like just go harder, like a higher note. I don't know. But in general, I thought the flow was great. It was a cool song that I would definitely listen to again. So props. Thanks.
I definitely thought it was catchy. I thought if he can't sing, he damn sure can hit a melody. So that was dope. I've heard him before. So shouts to King Lo. I've heard some more rap shit from him. But he can make a banger. I'm not crazy familiar with him, but I talked to homie a little bit. And it's always good to get somebody from the Q's. This track specifically, I heard it before. This was my second time listening. It was just as good, if not a little bit better than the first time. The first time I heard it, I wasn't expecting it. And so whenever you do something socially relevant, like coronavirus, social distancing bars, you know he just wrote it recently, just recorded it, got it out there. That's always hit or miss, coronavirus bars, but I thought he put it in kind of smoothly.
Yeah, so, it was smooth.
Like it was.
I thought the whole thing was smooth. Yeah, like he had some really clever bars in there, and I thought he sounded very like, I don't know, it was smooth. That's the way to put it. It was smooth.
It was smooth. So I'll probably give it another spin. And if you're watching King Lo, send that to me. I'll listen to it a couple times, see if I want it in the playlist.
Thanks.
Yeah, the only issue that I have with the track or anything, I think, is it's kind of hard to find because it's really hard to search up his name. King Lo, there's a lot of King Los. There's King Los, obviously. So it's a difficult thing, I think, and it's something you got to deal with. Either he'll overcome it or he'll make a change. Or
for people watching, if you heard that song and you fucked with it, it's King Lo, but it's Lo. There's no W.
And and put in King Lo Invisible. That'll definitely pull it up. Like I said, it's very hard just pulling up King Lo, even with the LO. I'm not trying to diss on his name, but that's something that is worth thinking about. Like with there being a King Los, and you search up King Lo, there's quite a few people who think that is a good name. So it's tough. You have to then compete amongst 5 other King Los when searching on social media, when searching on Spotify. It can be difficult.
It's tough.
People from my school and people in the town still know me as Infamous. Some of them, like people that I've known for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had to change that name because I was like the 15th Infamous that would pop up if I'm lucky. You feel me? Like there's just no success in that. He's in a different situation. He can actually get some benefits from having such a close name to somebody like King Los. Because if they're searching and he puts the right tags on it, he can make it pop up. But it's going to be hard for his whole career if he keeps that name. Copyright purposes, you got to make sure a lot of different things are involved with that. But he's a smart dude. I know he knows what he's doing.
And we all know name changes. Corey's changed his name a couple of times. I used to go by 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐡𝐞𝐫, which I obviously had to change for the type of music that I'm doing now.
Like you can't go young Lil Child. That's the most parody name that I've ever heard.
I started as a parody. That's the thing, is I was making some joke ass songs, bro. I literally made a song called "In the Pussy," and it was to "Under the Sea" from the Little Mermaid, bro. Like I was doing some dumb ass shit.
That's man was rapping about his neighbor's dog dying.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in next week when we preview "In the Pussy" to the beat of "Under the Sea" by 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐡𝐞𝐫. Make sure y'all tune in for that one. We're gonna change things up a little bit here. The sound is definitely gonna change now. We got a track from an artist named Ben Kent. It is called, let me make sure I get it right, Queen Bed. I like this track. I like Ben a lot. He's really dope. So let's get to it.
Underrated.
Used to think the world was cold, but it wasn't that bad. But there was when you were all ahead. I used to always smile and laugh. I'm not that guy. 'Cause if I said I was, there'd be another lie. Like when I said I was fine, when you walked out my door, or when I told myself I don't love you anymore. When one door closes, another one opens. But since you shut my door, I don't dream anymore. 'Cause I've been thinking about you lately. I'm caught up up in a world gone crazy. I just don't think I can be alone. The house ain't a home when you're not over. Lying in my sheets with an empty shoulder. I just don't think I can be alone. And a queen bed ain't a queen bed without a queen. I said a queen bed ain't a queen bed without a queen.
And that's Queen Bed. You can find that on all streaming services by Ben Ken. I really fuck with that song. Just came out in the last week or so. The one disappointment I have with Ben is I saw like a week or two ago he did this. He recorded something on a rooftop. Something that would have been very dope to have on Live From Your Timeline if I had noticed it. Because it was very similar to what was going on. But he did it in such a unique way that it created a really, really cool visual. So Ben has been doing some real cool stuff. I think he's the artist I mentioned a couple weeks ago, working with Lonzo on a couple tracks. So he's doing good stuff. Ant, what'd you think?
Ben is amazing, bro. I've had the pleasure. I haven't shook his hand or nothing, but I've been speaking with Ben for a little over a year now. And I got put on to him through Lonzo as well. I knew about the features that they had in the vault well before that they came out, I guess. And as soon as I heard him and Alonzo on a track together, I knew that I needed a track with both of them and a track with him by himself. So we have a bunch of shit in the works. When this is all over, I'm sure I'm going to be linking with him. He's a very talented artist. He's ranged. He can cross many different genres, but without having to change his sound, really, which is unique for an artist in that lane. When you hear that, you don't expect him to blend so seamlessly with a rapper like Alonzo. You feel me? Or many rappers in that facet. He's really dope, and I can't wait for more people to find out about him. I'm glad that you just found out about him, Sheridan. I think that you guys would make some wild shit. But I
feel like we could make some really good music. Yeah, we could do anything. We could do anything, honestly. I would love to work with him. So I did listen to him this song before the show, and I loved it. Like it's a great song. He has a great voice. I'm excited. I didn't listen to any of his other music, so I'm excited to hear like if that's what he usually sounds like, or if he has other stuff. I think that was awesome. That sounded like a hit. Like that sounded like something I could hear on the radio. And in saying he works with rappers, I feel like that would be like a type of like, I don't know, like James Blake works with rappers, and I feel like that's the type. He's the type of guy.
But like some Adam Levine shit, like it's like there's certain people throughout history that have been able to blend with rappers and make a good song cross genre. But I think he has like hip hop in his blood somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that he's just this lane. I don't think he has to cross over. I think it's like in him. You know what I mean?
Well, even in his voice, you can hear in his voice, he has that little bit of rasp. He has that little bit of like R&B sound to his voice. So I could hear him do stuff like that.
I would listen to that song daily. I haven't been able to hear that before the show, but that shit was great. I'm probably after the show gonna go bump his shit. That was amazing.
He's Alonzo Brunn, if you guys know him, tuning in. Ben has a very dope special feature on the outro, I believe. It's called "Stay With Me" or some shit. It's absolutely amazing. It's a cross genre hip hop track. You gotta go check it out. So I would put that in your playlist or some shit. Ben, my only critique of the song is that in the first like 20 seconds, I had perceived it to be something different than it was. And then once it dropped, I was fully captivated. I was like, oh, shit, this is crazy. But that's not a knock to the song at all. That's just my personal perspective listening to it. It took me a second to get fully into the track. But once I was there, it was like mind blowing.
Yeah, and he's like I said, he's so good. I heard a couple of things he's got previewed with Lonzo. They previewed on Instagram a while back, and I was trying to get him to send me that track. It's not done yet, but they've got some dope stuff in the tuck that I'm excited for when that comes out, because they mesh well together, and I'm excited to hear him with other hip hop artists, because as you stated, he's really good at performing within other genres, and that's cool. And this track was really dope too, so it's good to see.
I could see him being on some like Matthew Cornwell shit and go and get and just book just because he can go play the guitar and sing. You feel me?
Absolutely.
They would be crazy together. I think that would be like, if they dropped a song, that would be like one of the fastest clicks I ever hit on a song.
For sure. Yeah, like, so definitely go tune into that, what he's been doing. And like I said, he's done a couple of rooftop sessions as well, so he's been doing great stuff. Ben Kent, the next track we have lined up is someone that Corey is very familiar with. JJ Wolf just dropped a track yesterday. It is called, what is it called, Corey? Like That, right? Correct? I want to say that. Yes, sir. JJ Wolf, Like That. We're going to play that right now.
Let's get it. Gang, gang, gang. Let's go. Yeah. Hey. I don't gotta talk about it, I'm like that. Have a nigga back and forth like that. Niggas talking down, they like that. Even if I take an L, I'ma fight back. I don't gotta talk about it, I'm like that. Have a nigga back and forth like that. Niggas talking down, ain't like that. Even if I take an L, I'ma fight back. I'm a demon, it's about to get serious. 100 round, try make him look like a period. Trip like a force to take some experience. Demon time back up and watch out the eeriness. Don't got the glick, he ain't aiming for nothing. The shows get the show when the demons start dumb and I play like it was. Even if that shit wasn't, I call it the bros and I bet that they coming. I'm getting big homie, they L it, they know me, they turn right on me, so niggas get smoke. I do not bang, but I mean too cool. Send them the shot and this buddy said go. Settle for less and I'm bound with respect and they disrespect. Will to be up in the score. And I'm really with it, I swear I ain't switching. I'm bringing them music, they begging for more. I just pick me up and right back. I just talk to my hitters, they big, they mad. I just broke on that shit, sir. I just get to the back, I'm like, I just picked up my right back. I just talk to my hitters, they big, mad. I just broke on that shit, sir. Let's get to the back, I'm like that. Have a nigga back and forth like that. Niggas talking down, they like that. Even if I take an L, I'ma fight back. I don't gotta talk about it, I'm like that. Have a nigga back and forth like that. Niggas talking down, they like that. Even if I take an L, I'ma fight back. Who back, baby? Watch how I jump in that crowd, I go crazy. Y'all call it the bloodies and they going crazy. Y'all call it the lotion, you get put on like Brady. Hold up, shit, he off them zins. That niggas feel lazy. I hate picking floppers. I don't fuck with Daisy. The bull in the garden. I feel like I'm chasing McGrady. These niggas be acting so shit. Who back, baby? Watch how I jump in that crowd, I go crazy. Y'all call it the bloodies and they going crazy. Y'all call it the lotion, you get put on like Brady. He off them zins.
That's that new JJ Wolf, Like That. He's someone that I've been waiting to talk about. We talked about him last week, but up until last week, I've been waiting to talk about him for weeks just because he's been a little quiet throughout 2020. Now he's starting to get things going and really making some noise.
I think he's been that shit off because my laptop was about to catch on fire, bro. I don't think it could have handled anymore.
Bro, JJ, he's so good, bro. I love JJ. He's one of my favorite performers, if not my favorite performer that I've seen out of Upstate. He has his melodies are my favorite actually. Like when he does that's not even my favorite, but like that shit was crazy, bro. I love when he sings. But he can rap his ass off, whether it's fast, slow. He's got bars. He brings the lyrics. He can get those crazy punchlines. I've worked with JJ on a couple songs. We haven't put anything out yet, but he's definitely a heavy hitter, and I'm really excited for him to keep going. And I think so. My biggest critique in the past of JJ has been I feel like he hasn't been selective enough with the tracks that he drops. And the fact that he hasn't dropped anything yet in 2020, and this has been it's showing, he's going to start putting those, like, he's being smart about his drops now. And I think that's exciting me. Like, I'm really excited to see the rest, because I see Corey's face right now, and I know Corey's heard some of these tracks. So I'm so excited to hear more of them, bro, because I know that and probably working with Process has helped.
JJ's about to snap 2020. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. working with him on the 136 project has absolutely insane because like we have such a different group of artists. There's artists that are like King, who are on some like hood shit, always talking about selling, like me, who's extremely emotional, Trevon, who's like bar artist, and Ryan, who's just kind of like a mix of everything, but mainly on his melodies and sound. JJ is this artist that can like meld, who could do a track with anybody in the group and match them at their skill level. JJ's so versatile with what the fuck he can do. He can do anything. So like listening to the tracks that he's been making this year is absolutely ridiculous. I think JJ just wants to show how hard he can snap in like anything that anybody does.
Yeah, he's among the most versatile artists in Upstate. He's amazing.
He's like he's so not too young, of course, but so young. Like a lot of the people that I could compare his versatility to are a lot older than him and have been around long enough to really refine their skills in different areas. The thing about JJ is that he does so many different sounds, and I don't mean this the wrong way, but I don't think he found his sound yet. You know what I mean? He tried so many different things that once he perfects his sound, bro, I think JJ is a ticking time bomb. Like, if the right person saw JJ, he would try to swoop him from y'all. Like, you better hold on tight, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But JJ is like, the way he performs, bro. If you've ever seen JJ on stage, like 136 shows go insane. He
just has so much energy.
Man made a whole mosh pit at the Haunt show.
That shit was crazy, bro.
I swear to God, he came off stage and told me that he punched like 2 people in the face because they got too close to him, bro. Like JJ goes wild at shows. Shit's ridiculous.
JJ adds so much more than just live energy at a show too. Like from even just a perception of your guys' group. Like he opens up your guys' demographic so much when he's in the studio doing ad-libs on tracks that aren't even his. He brings a whole, like, he changes your guys' whole structure. You feel me?
Man did ad-libs on Money in the Grave. Like when I dropped that track. And I mean, Ant was in the studio for me to record that shit. And like I was at a loss for ad-libs. JJ just came in and
like, Ryan was like, nope, not doing it. We can't do those. Yo, JJ, hop in the booth. JJ, money in the grave. Money in the grave, bitch. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Yo, well, wild. JJ just has that energy. He's just different, bro.
And his age is a big, like, a positive for him overall, because he's just going to get older and have more things to talk about, experience life more, and be able to change up his range of the things that he is able to discuss. And just with his variety of sound too, like I'm with you, Ant, that he definitely doesn't, I don't know if he's found his sound yet, but the way that he still works within other sounds is so crazy that I'm not sure he'll necessarily settle down with just one, because he is really good at making like a couple different sounds. And that, like, it could hurt him in the long run. I don't think it will, because he's just getting better at these sounds, and he'll narrow down which ones to utilize more often, but I don't think he'll ever just go like one route.
I think he can make a collab tape with anybody in the area, and I would check it out.
Oh, for sure.
Just off strength of like, what the fuck is this gonna be? You feel me? Like,
you know how Tory Lanez will drop like an R&B project and then drop like a rap project in the same year. I think that'll end up being JJ once he like finishes.
I see what you're saying, but I think Tory Lanez is a bad comparison.
Oh, like, no doubt. But I'm just saying, like, the way that he drops like a singing project and a rap project in the same year, I think
as much as
it like that, I think he'll perfect his sound within his singing and perfect his sound within his rapping, and then.
As much as I can find better comparisons, I don't think Tory Lanez is that bad of a comparison. I see what Corey means. I would compare him more to someone like X.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like yeah, he does kind of that sad. He does that sad type of sound like X. He reminds me a little bit of Trippie Redd as well. He's more versatile. I think he's way better than Trippie Redd. I don't like Trippie Redd, but like on some of his songs, I think he is like a better version of Trippie Redd.
I think he's more versatile than Trippie Redd, but I think Trippie Redd has his sound. You feel me?
Okay, for sure.
Trippie Redd has his sound. When JJ refines his sound and finds that shit, there's no telling who it could be better than. You feel me?
I've heard some shit though from JJ in the vault that he sent to Ryan, and I think y'all would be surprised. I think he's got it on.
Hey, bro,
his ceiling is as high as anybody's. That's the thing. His ceiling is as high as anybody's.
It's hard to even like. It's weird to say this, but it's like hard to be surprised. Like I'm not really surprised by what this nigga does. It would take some shit for me to be like, oh no. Like
anything DJ does, he snaps, bro.
That man's excellent. It's excellent.
Absolutely. The next group we're going to talk about is also excellent. They just dropped a music video. This track has actually been out for a while, but I just wanted to highlight how well they did with this video. It's sort of bringing a track from about a year or two back. So this is Do What I Do from The Dwellers, and if you haven't seen the music video, I seriously suggest checking that out on YouTube.
Told you I care, that's cause I do. I'm a real nigga, I do what I do. She want a van, I want a coupe. She got a man, I said it's cool. Baby, she cares, she hold it down. I'm always in, she like to go out. Go to the bed, came from the couch. She give me head, I'm going down. This shit really hard, but I make it look easy. These niggas hate me, they all wanna be me. I'm going crazy, hope all they can see me. Niggas be lying, they capping like Beanie. Fuck it up, fuck it up, fuck it up. Check on the score, I'ma run it up. My niggas monsters, I summon them. Eyebrows off feet, I be plucking them. First night I meet him, I'm fucking him. Psych. Baby girl, no, I got a baby girl. No, she like to play with my baby curls. Really hoping I don't make a crazy girl. Coulda calling you out for the niggas you kept on the side, but I'm not gonna take it there. And I'm gonna giving them bitches attention, but you know that shit doesn't make it fair. Wine drunk, that's class. I walk and I talk like a millionaire. They doing gimmicks to get to the top, but I promise that's not gonna take them there. Buying a jewelry designer and purses, and trust me, that's not gonna make it care. I'm a nice nigga, that's how mama raised me, but I'm sick and tired of playing fair.
And then she said she could vote.
My wife, she tried to drive yesterday. Oh, do what I do. White excellence, bro.
White excellence.
White excellence.
Told you I care, that's cause I do.
That's a snippet of Do What I Do by The Dwellers. Like I said, that track's been out for a while. I just wanted to highlight, especially the video that they put out. It was a really dope video, but it doesn't happen too often in upstate where, like, videos come after tracks very often. But it's not always so done calculated. I see Anthony and Meech did it within the last couple months with one of their tracks off of Blur months later after the project came out. And I really like seeing that because it reintroduces a track that maybe people didn't check out initially or maybe they missed. This track I definitely heard before when that album first dropped, but I wasn't as into it as I am now. This video brought me back to it, and I've been bumping it probably every day just because it's a fun, catchy song. So I just want to highlight that. And there are definitely other artists who do this very well in upstate, but I think too many artists just want to drop a visual for a track and don't realize what use they could put that to if they waited a little bit longer. Corey, you do a really good job at generally waiting too and making it like a rollout, essentially, track, video, then, and it's smart. But there are some artists who will just drop a video right away, then upload the track onto Spotify, and then you have nothing. The track it's one day. If you do something like this, you get a lot more out of it. So,
no doubt.
I mean, videos are a weird thing. That's why I haven't dropped so many this year. I had plans to shoot a lot on this coronavirus. Like I had shot a couple, haven't finished. This coronavirus thing has put a damper on plans, but you have to be more strategic with videos. Some people are able to put out videos back to back to back to back, and if you're putting videos out consistently, then I can see not being the most strategic or putting out songs that are current as opposed to bringing shit back. But for the most part, it's more beneficial for artists in our position to calculate when they're going to drop, to think about what songs are going to do well to the audience and what you can do back. Like I almost shot a video for Blue, a track off my first album. And I still think I might do that. I have plans to do that. Like there's no time limit on when you can do that to good music. You have to go back to old tracks eventually, because people will find them otherwise. You can't expect people to dig into the crates like that.
I think it depends. Like for me, I think like for a song that I feel like is so much of a hit that I would want to show it to people that I feel like will want to invest in me or want to maybe like push that song far enough that I'll be able to get performances or something like that. I feel like putting out a video as soon as possible, if not on the same day, is almost essential to get like people who like not that all your fans matter, but like there are certain people that are going to listen to your music and give you opportunities, and a lot of times they don't even want to take the time of day to listen to your music unless there's a visual. They want to look at something, and I think that's really important. But if it and it just depends on the type of artist you are and what your goals are. But then again, what Andrew said, it's also beneficial to drop a video even sometimes like a year later. You recrop up a song that maybe people didn't listen to. So it just depends. It depends on what your formula is. It depends on what type of song you're putting out, and depends on what your goals are.
No doubt. I mean, for the Dwellers video, it made sense because the video had a concept and it was so well
Such
thought.
a good video.
And it's just a great video. Like when I dropped Asterisk, at this point I'm asking myself if I even needed a video because the song did better than the video on streaming services so far. So it's just about like what you actually need.
I think you needed the video. I love the video.
You need the video because people don't realize that just because something didn't perform first week, second week, first month, it can have a whole new life eventually. That video is there forever. You feel me? But speaking from experience, I've done something like the Dwellers just did, and I can assume it was for a similar reason. They have a huge fan base. All their songs perform very well. There's no question about that, just with their core group. Blur was doing very well on streaming services. Last Days was one of the most streamed songs, and it was picking up very consistently. I shot the video probably July, like last July. So I had the video for maybe 8 months, 7 months before I had it. I had plans to drop it on New Year's, around the time when the stream started to take a dive, to give new life to the song. Because once the video dropped, it did bring whole new streams back to Last Days. People remembered the song, and it's still getting played to this day because the video's still getting played. I had plans to drop it earlier, but there was a situation in 𝐂𝐲𝐩𝐡𝐞𝐫 that I felt was really touchy to the subject matter in the video, and I thought it was only right to not drop it out of respect for that. So there's a lot of factors that could have went in, but I'm sure this video, just like Andrew said, brought tons of life back into their song. It's probably getting streamed all over now because the video's out and it reminded people of it.
And
it's such just the concept of the video is awesome. I just also want to clarify the one part of the video where they say like, oh, like white excellence or whatever. There were no white people in the room. It's a group of they clarify it in the video. There's like there were no white people in this room, and I thought that was fucking hilarious. And I just thought the video was shot at like a golf course and like a country club, I think. And they kind of dressed up as like almost like old like rich white people, and I thought it was a really like funny and interesting concept to a video, and it was troll like, but they did it perfectly and not to look like clout chasers. Like it was very they just did it the right way. It was one of my one of my favorite videos that I've seen from an upstate artist.
Easy.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good video, and it's performing pretty well, and that's the idea of it too. And
the
on
song
the
is
other,
awesome too.
On the other token, like on the other side of the token, if we look at it, like for artists who drop the video either first and then they for whatever reason get the track onto Spotify or whatever, it doesn't seem to work in the same way. Like it really doesn't, and it can be harmful to artists like Ty Burst, for example. I love his music. I love what he does. But I think that if he went about it in a little bit more of a calculated way of dropping a track first and then the visuals later, it might be more beneficial, because it seems like, at least from the last couple drops, that the visuals have come out and now the tracks are just making their way onto Spotify, which is dope because now I have them to check out. But it's a lot harder to get your fan base to check out a track for a video that's already out. It's not to say that Ty Burst does anything wrong either, because he gets a lot of people turning out for what he does. I just think that there might be more success in trying it a different way.
Yeah, I think that dropping a video before a song comes out, unless you're doing like some like special type of like song or special type of video, I think that might hurt you. But again, I just think it depends on the type of track. I think if all he does is drop tracks either before or at the same time he drops songs, I agree he should experiment with dropping a video like a couple months after he drops a song. But again, I think it just depends on the type of artist you are and what you're looking for.
I think Ty Burst, and shout out Josh because he just commented on Ty Burst. Ty Burst consistently has some of the dopest visuals out here. Accompanied with some really good music. I think, to flip what you're saying, I think a lot of the times he premieres his songs on the videos on purpose. You feel me? Similar to how Tekashi did today on a different scale. That video would not have performed the same if the song was out already.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to compare Ty Burst to Tekashi, but I do know that Ty Burst has one of the biggest natural followings out here, just of people that respect him and will check out his music off their strength because they fuck with him. So I think there's a little bit more strategy in it than just dropping out the videos and then putting out the songs later. But I do think that he could see some bump in streams if the songs were out a little bit before the visuals.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how he does his latest track, Lost Ones. I don't think that the visuals are out for that one yet. I think it's just a track on Spotify.
I love this song.
I'm just curious to see as to how it works, if he still does get the same video numbers, but maybe pulls a little bit better on the streaming numbers. And he's just one example. There are plenty of artists who do drop videos before or whatever, and it's your own plan, however you want to go about it. And for some, it works out. Like Deshaun, he does it, and he gets like thousands of views on every video. So if that's what you're looking to accumulate, then it works out perfect for someone like him. So it all depends on what you want to do and how you want to go about it.
No doubt. And like with Ty Burst on that shit that he shot in the school, like once he dropped that song, yeah, I was looking for it on social or on streaming services instantly after I watched that video. Like just on a consumer perspective, like that video was so
video.
It made me absolutely fall in love with the song. So
that video is something that, that video is something that like I could see, like it was like something that like a mainstream like industry artist would put out.
Easy.
Like,
it was a song. So that's what I'm saying. Like Ty Burst is a scary person to think about locally because I don't know what he can't do. I don't know. I don't always know why certain things are in the tens and thousands, almost hundreds of thousands of views. You feel me? Because he is known. He's popular. People fucks with him. He's got respect. He's got the whole package.
Like I said, it's about getting the right ears. It's about getting the right ears on it.
Yeah. And I don't want to put anything out there that's not already out there. So I'm not gonna say any names, but he was posting on Facebook the other day about some industry features that he has in the vault. So
he already worked with Jay Critch, right?
Yeah. He song and video with Jay Critch, and that does well. That's still getting streamed today easily.
Yes,
like, I'm sure
so definitely shout out to Ty Burst, and like I said, he does a really good job with what he does. And in the same way that Corey said, I'm excited that the songs he's put videos out to are now on streaming services, because as a consumer, I'm excited to be able to listen to them just wherever I'm at. And I think that's a good thing for Ty, just because he's so. He has a way that could make it into the mainstream sound, that the tracks being easily accessible is the number one thing he needs. So absolutely, Ty Burst is one to keep an eye out for, and we'll be previewing some of his music next week. What we got next to preview is a track from Drae V. I'll play that for you guys right now.
Stay woke. You gotta feel me. You know this this shit smooth though. It's like that 80s and you gotta no choice but to nod your head to this shit. I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit. My mama got 2 jobs, she just into the 40s. Pops wasn't around, so who the fuck was gonna support me? My step pops, he don't know he like my main dog. He would answer phones when my pops was being lame, y'all. Had a couple uncles, they was like gods to me. One of my homies' uncles was trying to get hard from me. That was years ago. Nowadays I'm semi-spiritual. Amen. Without my skill and plug, where would I be? Without this Newman mic and my talent, who would I be? That's a tricky question. From freestyler nicks to free verses, from cutting 𝐂𝐲𝐡𝐴 to cutting curses. For the radio, used to plug niggas. I was a socket then, only had a pound or 2. Thought I was competent. Plug say ready, I just say copy send. I ain't know a soul in Cali, my landing, they locked me in. Diddy your law, too much titties and bras. My man asked the law to keep us a butter law. I just turned 22, did 22,000. Hold on, that's not fire, let me do it again. Restart. I just turned 22, 22,000 streams. In a week's matter, sorry, I'm doing verses for cream. Yo dog, window shopping, you got Balenciagas. Your baby mama fly, but your daughter don't know her father, damn. You know, I was gonna rap on this part too, you know, but I'm just thinking like, man, you niggas ain't shit, and it's crazy.
That's Stay Woke from Drae V. He just gets into a little bit of talking there before finishing up the track, so we'll cut it off there. But this was a really good song. I thought he was talking about some really interesting shit, some deep shit kind of too. What'd you think, Sheridan? You said he was your guy?
So that's my boy. I don't know, like anyone who knows when I first started dropping songs, the first song I ever dropped on SoundCloud was titled I'm the Man, and it was featuring Drae V. And like I grew up with Andre, bro. Like that's my boy. I think he's living in San Diego right now. He is somebody that I've kept in contact with my entire life. I played ball with, I've made music with, I've smoked with. Like he is one of my personal favorites in upstate. He's been making music much longer than I have, so he's someone that I kind of look up to in a way. That song, while it's not like my favorite Drae V song, he really I love the way when he really like talks about his life and stuff that he's been through, and that song and some other songs that I've heard from him, he reminds me a little bit of Fab, but like I like him better than Fab. I think he has better lyrics than Fab. I think his bars are better than Fab. And I like Fab a lot, but I think Drae is like a better version, and he's met Fab actually. If you look at his Instagram, they've linked up before. But he's an artist that I feel like is destined for success. He has the type of mindset where he's gonna win no matter what. He's surrounded by people who want to win and are winning. So I'm just, every time he drops, I'm excited to hear what he does. I haven't talked to him in a couple months, but we usually keep in contact. So I'm just excited to hear what he continues to do, and definitely be on the lookout, because we've talked about collaborating more and we just haven't gotten the chance, but we're in the same area, so it'll happen.
Drae is dope. I remember I posted a status a while ago. I asked for a couple rappers who could drop a 16 on a New York beat, and you hit me up and you were like, "Yo, bro, you gotta hit Drae. Like nobody's gonna do it like Drae will do it." And I still think about that every time I hear this dude's name. I swear, he looks so familiar. I swear that we've met in person, but he
looks like Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah, he do look a little bit like Bobby Shmurda. But I can't say if I met him in person, but we have a real dope relationship through the networking and connecting that we've done. Big fan of his music. The shit talking in the song is priceless. I'm always a fan of that, especially if you're delivering. I do gotta say one thing, Sheridan, and you're totally entitled to feel like Mans is better than Fab. But if we had a large audience right now and nobody knew who he was, and then they went to go check this nigga out on Spotify, thinking that they're about to get some bars better than like Fab, bro, they're gonna hate you and him.
Okay, but I've heard the difference is I've heard his underground shit that he's put on SoundCloud and shit way before like that. I totally understand what you're saying, but I've heard shit that the masses haven't really heard. And I mean, he would probably be like, nah, you're bugging. I'm not better than Fab.
I mean, it's not about what he thinks. It's just if you don't want to paint that target on his back. You feel me?
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's just this. That's what my personal feel like. If someone's like, you either can't listen to Drae V ever again, or you can't listen to Fab ever again. Easily, I would say I can't listen to Fab anymore. I gotta listen to my boy Drae.
I respect it, bro. He's a fucking beast. I'm about to throw that in the playlist.
Yeah, for sure. I like that track, and I liked how real he was for sure. What do you think of it, Corey?
Dude. Like if you talk to him, he's a really real dude.
Well, that Andrew to comment on that. It was a switch of tone of his like latest tracks.
I've never heard a track that he's put out. I've heard tracks that he's done like that, but not that he's put out that were like that.
Dre's absolutely fire. Dre's absolutely fire. I mean, back before I started 136, and you remember when you first met me, I had a group called Next Up, right? Sheridan had introduced me to Drae, and Drae was actually supposed to be involved in Next Up, but bunch of shit happened and that whole group ended up getting dissolved once Tony left. But I've been following Drae for a minute and man's is absolutely fire. I just love hearing him get into like personal shit and spitting on this level that I know he can.
But that's what I'm saying, because you can tell once a rapper, always a rapper. You feel me? It never leaves you. You always have the ability to. But it did seem like he was starting to follow not a wave, but like a different direction for his own sound. Like he was going into a more mainstream, banger-related type of sound. This was a breath of fresh air. Like, this is exactly what I want to hear as a jealous fan from Drae. You feel me? So shout out to him. And this track, we got to body something now.
I know, bro. I've been literally saying, like, if you and Drae drop a track, it's gonna break the internet, bro. You guys are crazy.
It's good. Bro. We about to fuck some shit up. We've talked about it so many times, bro. It's all love with Drae. You know what's up.
For sure. So keep an eye out for that eventually down the timeline. But what we got next for everybody is an artist I'm not super familiar with. I've listened to him a couple times, but he's definitely a change of pace for us. Someone we haven't talked about before, Scummy De Faz. We'll go ahead and play his latest track off his new project for you guys.
I don't know why all these people be mad. When I found out Shawty was cheating on me, felt like they lifted a fridge on my back. Now that I'm free and I'm up out the gutter, I'ma be screaming out where the hoes at. I just been patiently waiting for something to happen, but now I'm back up on the track, yeah. I done came from the mud, I was stuck down deep, but I never slowed down, always on my feet. If you got a problem, tell him come see me. She tried to ruin my life, but she ain't right. I'm moving down south with my mother, but I don't regret where the fuck I'm at. I came so far from the bottom, I went the wrong way, and I know there's no coming back. Had to get back on my bullshit, I'm back on my ways, and I'm headed straight to the trap. I gave my all to one girl, and I wasted my time, I knew I couldn't get it back. I should've listened to them when it happened. I didn't listen, and look at what happened. Had so much people who looked at me laughing, playing it cool, I sit back, I'm relaxing. So many people changed up, shit was fake love. Having days when I ain't wanna wake up. Hungry, but I haven't eaten days, but now I'm wishing that we didn't make love. I don't know why they be hating on me, I don't know why all these people be mad. When I found out Shawty was cheating on me, felt like they lifted a fridge off my back. Now that I'm free and I'm up out the gutter, I'ma be screaming out where the hoes at. I just been patiently waiting for something to happen, but now I'm back up on the track, yeah. I done came out the mud, I was stuck down deep, but I never slowed.
That's the new track, Ruined Me, by Scummy De Faz off his new project, Lessons Learned. You can find that on all streaming services. What do you guys think? I thought it sounded a little bit like he was trying to go for a Roddy Ricch type sound, but outside of that, I thought it was a pretty decent track. It's very different hearing people now try to do Roddy's sound, though. It's almost a testament to Roddy, but it wasn't a bad track.
Yeah, I feel like. Go ahead.
No. Where the track lacks in originality and makes up for in personal lyrics, the story on it was really nice to hear. I mean, I think his sound could be a bit more original or unique, but I mean, that's a lot of artists out here when they're first starting. They don't necessarily have a sound that's them, but that shit was heat off of just the story alone.
Yeah. I thought that like he could have cleaned up the lyrics a little bit, and he could get like train his voice a little bit better and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But in general, I thought it was a great melody. I thought the concept was really good, and like being someone who I've been in the place where I've been writing music about, it's clear he had his heart broken recently. I was in a place where I was writing music similar to that for a while, and I've been through a similar situation. So like that, it's a relatable type of thing, and you can hear the fact that that's real. He's talking about something that's real in his life, and that's honestly rare. I think a lot of people want to hear more things that are relatable, and that you can be like, that artist is actually talking about something real that he's been through. Because I think there's been a lot of saturation recently. Not everybody talks about, and I don't have a problem necessarily with it, but not everybody talks about what they actually do. And hearing someone talk about something that they've really been through, and you can hear that it's real. I think that's, as Anthony would say, it's a breath of fresh air. I thought it was, although it could have been cleaned up a little bit, I thought that song was a breath of fresh air.
So, I respect both y'all's opinions. I was not the biggest fan of this track. There was very high points, and there were some low points.
I agree.
As Ryan points out in the comments, it sounds just like Down Below by Roddy Ricch, melody wise. And even now that I look back at it, it's kind of even similar rhyme schemes at certain parts of the song.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a remix, but I think that what you brought up about the originality in his story, that's always dope. I'm always gonna give you points for talking about some shit that's near and dear and making somebody relate to it. But you also have to make somebody enjoy it. And he made y'all enjoy it. Maybe I just wasn't the target demographic for this. I don't know how young bro is, or how old he is, how experienced he is. But he has a lot of natural talent going on for him. He had good flow, melody. He can clearly write, but this song in particular wasn't really it for me.
Yeah, let me go back and say, like, I wouldn't go back and like listen to this song again. I guess I was just being to the point that like I can hear his potential, and I can hear the fact that he has some form of melody, and I do, now that you mentioned Down Below, I definitely hear that. I just think that like you said, talking his original story, what he's actually been through, that's what I appreciated about it. But I think everything that you said, as much as you didn't enjoy it, and I kind of did enjoy it, I do agree with.
Facts.
No doubt. I mean, as I said, originality is huge for me on a track. I probably wouldn't go back and listen to this, but I mean, I can hear that he can at least write a song that's compelling. So
it's just hard for me to label this original. You feel me? Like,
no.
like it's just, like I understand the lyrics are coming from a near place, but like the song is so familiar to the point where like as soon as Ryan said Down Below, it was like, oh shit, Down Below. Like
yeah,
like,
actually.
So
I agree.
Maybe that was his intention, because people do that sometimes. Maybe it was homage to Roddy Ricch, but it's hard for me to label that song as a.
So Andrew, do you know like how much music he's dropped before?
I know that he's dropped another project before. I haven't really tuned into a whole lot of it, and honestly, I think what I'm thinking is we'll probably come back around to this guy, because this track was off of the project that he just dropped. In the next week or so, we'll probably play another one of his tracks, just so we can get the idea of is he really just trying to sound like Roddy Ricch, or is it just this track? But the talent's there. The talent's there. I just want to see if he has another sound to him or a different style to him, or if it's a lot of just and like I said, some talented artists need to do stuff like that where they can't initially find their own original sound, so they do something that's popular in the mainstream. And he chose a really good artist to build himself off of. If it is him trying to be like Roddy Ricch, Roddy Ricch is one of the most upcoming artists in the game.
Roddy Ricch is the next sound that's going to be replicated similar to how 𝐴 is. So I think a lot of people are going to, on the West Coast, try to follow that. Even out here and down south, like I think Roddy has a sound that people are going to try to mimic and make somewhat original. But
I'm interested to hear that, because I think it's hard. He has a sound that's hard. Like, as much as like you say that sound sounds like Roddy Ricch, like
he can't sound like Roddy Ricch if he wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, is there another how many artists are gonna be able to sound like Roddy Ricch if they want to?
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to cut you guys off, but I also don't want to go in a huge Roddy Ricch rant. I do want to, like, Scummy De Faz. He had a good song. It was pretty good. I also don't want to. We try not to box artists into saying they sound just like this guy or just like that guy. So for sure, we'll definitely come back around to it. Let's move on to the last artist that's not here for a track that we have to preview. I know Ant's gonna be excited about this one. We got a track that the Miserable Genius, he just put out a music video to. It's not as serious, I don't think, but it's a very cool remix that he did. He's someone that I really, really like, and we haven't been able to talk about, so I took the first opportunity I had to talk about him.
Let's get it.
What are we doing right here? What are we doing? We're doing to make a music video.
Hey yo, peace and love to Cypress. They made me wanna light spliffs that get me so high. I'm in the sky like I'm a flight risk. I pull up with 5 sticks, throwing knives off of bike tricks. I might spit and summon something, show you where your mind is. Hit the blunt a couple times and find out where your spine is. Life been feeling kinda crazy, wish I could rewind it. I've been getting stoned like Medusa after she met Poseidon. Looking for a style like mine, you can't find it. I drew a pic of Mr. Cheeks in Brixton and he signed it. In class they say Columbus is a hero, he's a tyrant. They've been silencing the righteous and force feeding us poison. Free the people in prison for weed, you gave them no choice. You see, I'm boring, never boring. Roll a blunt in the morning, then I'm soaring. Smack a conquistador for being a tourist. Hit my metamorphosis when I buff it down to a roach. Feel like Kafka when I'm coughing, ash on my chest like a brooch. My approach is to invoke them thoughts of the revolution. I ain't gonna rest until I get some restitution. I'm a Afro-Latino, the world treating us mad evil. Let's give stock in marijuana crops to brown and black peoples, cause our lives have been destroyed by this prohibition ploy. I've been spitting noise since Gabriella was kissing Troy. Teachers used to tell me I should shut my mouth, cause I'd always question them, they couldn't shut me down. I love it when I get some weed, don't need to pluck seeds out. I wish I could smoke with my Theo, but it's just me now. So roll in peace forevermore, get hot and bust freestyles. It's been a while since the emperor wore clothing. Hemp is the future, we gotta be more focused. Shout out to Seth Rogen, this item 9 is the bee's knees. Ha 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 ha, like the Bee Gees. I heard a monkey ate a mushroom, changed our species. I love to ponder about the stars, what's in the deep sea. My blood type is THC, is how I see.
That's the Miserable Genius, his latest video he put out on YouTube and Instagram. I want to get out of my house. Someone definitely ready for the pandemic to be over, but utilizing the pandemic to come up with something really creative and cool with this remix. What'd you guys think? Ant, what'd you think?
You'd be hard-pressed to find a rapper out here that can spit better than Damiano, bro. He's somebody that's so naturally talented with words and is honestly just a genius in the true sense of, like, not just art. Like, if you talk to him, he's an activist in his community back in Buffalo. He's all for them people and his family. Like, he's all about community. He's a great dude. He's somebody that I'm happy enough that I built a relationship with while he was in Ithaca. I saw Damiano perform when he was part of a group back in the day called Whack Genius, and I hit him and everybody up in Whack Genius immediately afterwards. I didn't get too many responses, but eventually we linked up, bro, and when you think about that track specifically, bro, like what the fuck? Like what the fuck? Like there, I don't know if that'll ever come out on streaming services or SoundCloud, but that looked like just like a, this is what I'm doing right now, and here's a thank you to whoever's watching. You feel me? It was genius. Like, and I don't know if you guys saw the video for it. Have you seen the video?
I haven't.
It's bro, it is a completely different experience. Like listening to the lyrics by themselves is wild. He truly spazzed on some.
He's a god.
Spaz, but when you watch the video, bro, it's just as kooky as the intro was.
I'm excited.
I saw him shout out that he said his sister helped him out with it a lot. And you can tell throughout the video, it was really dope, bro. It was wholesome. It's a throwback. It reminds me of some like Busta Rhymes, old school, like Ludacris shit, bro. Like
he's a type of artist. He's a type of artist that like I am proud to like say is from an area that is at least close to me. Like he can spit, and he is compelling. Not that he raps the same way, but like I can see him having similar fan bases to people like MF Doom or like Earl Sweatshirt. Like he just spits in that type of way that's like so mysterious, and like you want to hear what he's gonna talk about next. I actually think he's an artist that I think Corey would sound really good with if they did a track together. I would be excited to hear if they did a track together. But in general, I think that song was awesome. I want to hear more from him. Like every time I hear him, I'm more and more impressed. So like I think he's definitely one of Upstate's finest. He's very good.
He's making moves. He's making moves for sure, and he's someone that we got to attach ourselves to now before he does blow up. Because while the relationship with Griselda may not be there yet, it's only a matter of time being a Buffalo artist.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think Sheridan got confused with a conversation we had in the past about Buffalo artists and stuff like that, and what was going on, but it was definitely a confusing conversation. But still, the day that he gets those connections or starts making that type of moves, it's only a matter of time because he's so nice. Like,
well, he's a Buffalo bred dude, so he's a hometown.
That's probably why I was.
There's a huge culture out there, and he's had some interactions where he's came across Griselda a couple times. They've showed love to him. But he hasn't had an official session.
That's my fault then. That's my fault then. But I guess that the reason I said that and the reason I got confused is because he's on that level. Like something like that will happen. Like he is on the level that he is a heavyweight, and even if he's not the first one to blow up out of Upstate, when someone does blow up out of Upstate, he will blow up out of Upstate inevitably because he's on that level.
Like, I've been listening to him for a minute, and like he's dropped a couple freestyles where I just like listen to it and I'm like, there's not much nicer you can get as an MC. No. Like, to be honest, there's not much nicer you can fucking be. Like, that man snaps.
When I'm sitting in my room writing a track, I just sent a track to Damiano where he was like, nah. And I'm like, yo, come on, nigga. Like, stop playing with me. Like he's a different breed. Like, whenever I link up with Damiano, I have to bring my A game. And it's just gonna, like, he will crush a lot of rappers out here on a track just off charisma, bars, and how much subject matter he can pull out of anywhere, bro. He's
like,
so creative.
I would love to work with him, but I don't even know how I'd go about that. Like, I don't know what the fuck would I send to him that he would want to work with. Like,
and he's so dope and easily becoming like one of my favorite artists in the area. I haven't heard a whole lot from him up until the last couple months. He got submitted for the album of the year last year, and when I got to sit down and listen to that, I was like, damn, I didn't really like. There are a couple artists doing music like that around Upstate, but not a whole bunch to that capacity, that level. He definitely shines in his own light, and to be a Mexican and to be part of the Latin community, like, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is someone I'm claiming all day long as one of my favorite artists because he's dope. And like, it ain't every day. All Mexicans got, bro, is Tekashi. So
I think he's Puerto Rican.
Latin community, bro. That's all I said. I wasn't calling him Mexican for sure. I'm just yeah.
Specifically Mexican.
Nah, for sure. But Latin community, bro. I'm down to claim it no matter what. Like I said, all I got is 𝐂𝐲𝐞𝐫. So
anyone come across, you gotta claim it, bro. That's
facts,
why I respect.
all about supporting and too. So I'm glad to see him doing things. And like I said, I really won't be surprised in the next year or two, especially coming from Buffalo, being that nice, the Griselda ties in that area. It's not gonna take much, but the right promotion and the right connections, and all of a sudden he's off. So
Josh just commented and brought up a great point. Benny retweeted Damiano's Joe Pesci 38 freestyle and said it was super dope. So that happened. Like he and Conway.
That's probably part of why I got confused. I do
absolutely.
That's not the one and only thing though. They've had a couple. Like I remember he told me about one time he performed at some shit in Buffalo. There was like some festival.
Well, and then he did that Eminem challenge thing and was on a bunch of news sites too. Like he's
on Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
He's on Rolling Stone. Like
different breed.
Absolutely. So definitely one we got to look out for sure. And I'm excited to see everything he's got coming. So 2020 is gonna be big for him.
Shout out Josh for bringing up that point.
Absolutely. Shout out Josh. Our last track we've got to preview is one from Corey himself, Corey Loveless. We got his latest track. It's not out on streaming services yet, but it is soon to come. So we got the exclusive preview of that coming for everybody right now.
I'm about to...
It's all for you, yeah. I don't know what I do. All I do, but shit, it's all for you.
Pops always said go to college, get a good job, get a wife, be a father. Friends sold drugs for the bread for their dollars. I was running dope at school, I was honest. Then I got stopped with an ounce of scales, searching to whip that straight to jail. Save yourself, couldn't do that well. Always copy trends that never fail. Only wore the clothes they said was dope. Try to be the kid they liked the most. Been around the world, went coast to coast. When I settled down, I wanted friends the most. This kid they ask what you want to be. No one really knows at 17. Just did what they suggest to me, and I went to college for 2 degrees. See, I ain't even know if I want that shit. Dated a girl, fell in love too quick. Gave her my soul, she sold that shit. Cope with drugs that I couldn't quit. In school, didn't learn, just got depressed. Dad said I needed to pass the test, so I did this shit. Just push through stress. Past 2 years, said fuck the rest. Fought on my dad and was led to the dark. Fought on my friends and was almost in bars. Fought on a bitch and was drinking in bars. Fought on these people, should've followed my heart. Fought on my dad and was led to the dark. Fought on my friends and was almost in bars. Follow a bitch and was drinking in bars. Follow these people, should've fought on my heart.
I don't know what I do. All I do, but it's all for you, yeah. I don't know what I do. All I do, but shit, it's all for you. I don't know what I do. All I do, but it's all for you, yeah. I don't know what I do. All I do, but shit, it's all for you.
Pops always said go to college, get a good job, get a wife, be a father. Said the dropouts make less than scholars, but a real smile worth more than dollars. See, these local dealers feel like Pusha T, and these local rappers just pay for streams, and these local bitches wear designer jeans. Is that for clout, for self-esteem? Everybody brag by the clothes they got. Every man brag by the hoes he got. Everyone act like they know a lot. Everyone talk but don't show a lot. We follow on Twitter, follow the gram, follow your friends, follow the fam, follow so much of the leaders I ran. Dropped out of college, created a plan. We built a stew and laid shit down. No diploma could make that smile. We touch the stage and dap the crowd. When you're this happy, don't feel the doubt. So even if I don't get a damn this shit, go platinum and sell a million shit. You can tell me that you don't feel this shit. When I wake up, I don't feel like shit. Cause I follow my dad, it was led to the dark. Follow my friends, it was almost in bars. Follow the bitch and was drinking in bars. Follow these people, should've followed my heart. Follow my dad, it was led to the dark. Follow my friends, it was almost in bars. Follow the bitch and was drinking in bars. Follow these people, should've followed my heart.
I don't know what I do. All I do, but it's all for you, yeah. I don't know what I do. All I do, but shit, it's all for you. Shit is all for you, yeah. I don't know what I do. All I do, but shit is all for you.
And that's All For You by Corey Loveless featuring Process. Corey, when can people expect that to actually hit streaming services? We got the exclusive preview tonight.
Probably next month sometime.
Dope. So we got a nice month, early month preview for everybody. That was dope. The comment section definitely liked it. It was dope to hear Ryan on the hook. Like, that was a good track.
I love Ryan's hooks. That's so my favorite thing about Corey is that, like, from the time that I first heard him rap to when I hear him rap now, I literally have never heard him go backwards. Like, every single song he does, he progresses with. He is always getting better. And, like, I've heard songs by Corey that I literally, like, I'll be honest, like, I don't like. There are songs by Corey that I don't like. And there are songs by me that probably Corey doesn't like. But like, the thing is, it's gotten to the point where now he doesn't put out any songs that I don't like. Even if I have critiques, every single song he puts out gets better. And he continues to get better. And that's something that, like, inspires me as an artist, that he is always working. He cares so much about his craft, and that song shows it. Like, Ryan, his hook was great, but, like, Corey really shined on that, bro. Like, Corey, he put down some really great bars. He put down a nice little pre-chorus. I'm like really proud of Corey, and I'm happy to be a friend of Corey because of how hard that he works and how much better he's gotten from the beginning of when he started his music career, which is before he even met me. And I've known Corey for a long time.
Thanks.
Yeah, and it's cool that we're finally able to give Corey his flowers here, because we've talked about him a couple of times on the show, and it's true, like, and it's almost going to become redundant the more we talk about Corey, because every single time the one thing we mention is the growth, like, because as you said, he doesn't really go backwards, he doesn't really stay stagnant. There's consistent growth. Like you said, Ryan did a really great job on the hook, and it was a great hook, but it's not a situation where we're like, well, the hook carries the track. They both work with each other so well, and obviously the chemistry there, they've worked together for so long, but the growth between the two of them as well to create really great tracks like this is awesome, and it's really cool to see the growth. It's something we talk about all the time with Corey, but it's impossible not to, because the growth is just evident.
And it's in every facet of his recording. I think my biggest critique of Corey when I first started listening to him was his delivery. I thought he had really great lyrics even when I first started hearing him. And of course the lyrics have gotten better, but his delivery, like, he really has become a true presence on his tracks, to the point that, like, he has a very respectable voice that you want to hear again. And he has a commanding voice. At first it was a little more drawn back, and, like, now he's really, like, just progressed to the point that, like, you're like, okay, this guy is really talking his shit. He really means what he's talking about, and that's real about his life. Even though he's always been talking about his life, now it's so convincing that you can't deny it.
Nah, like, as you mentioned, Corey's obviously, his evolution is something to behold. A lot of people could take notes on that. We've
I take notes on it.
Exactly. It's humbling to look at Corey and realize that, like, if I take a day off and this nigga's coming to pass me any fucking day, bro, like, you are coming for Benny, you coming for Hove, you coming for M, bro, like, I don't think you're ever really gonna sleep until you're the best rapper alive.
That's a fact, bro.
It's crazy to think about. And even though, like, I just brought that up, and I don't want you to feel any type of way about this, I've heard this song multiple times. It's always been a great song every time I heard it. This time specifically, focusing in on the verses. I don't know if you remember when Eminem had 2 or 3 years where he kept on doing like personal bangers that had like a singy hook, you know what I mean? I think this was like a modern way. Like, I think Eminem would almost be envious of how, like, relatable you were on this track. You feel me? Because it was really reminiscent of his delivery and personal tones, except I was hearing your dad instead of your mom, you feel me? And you were able to bring it off and convey it in such a commanding way, as Sheridan put it, that this was my favorite time ever hearing that song. And I've liked it before, but this time tuning in solely on what you were saying and doing all the little fragments, the flow switches,
Yeah.
everything you were doing. It looked very strategic. And
If not my favorite verses you've ever put down's top 3. Like it, and that's what I'm saying. Like you always get better every time I hear you, bro. And it's honestly inspiring.
And we have to shout out Pierce, like Ryan just said. Shout out to Pierce for the beat. Like now that we've been able to give you your flowers, Corey, what's the process been like for you, pun intended, somewhat, to grow as an artist? Have you felt it the way we're talking about it? Do you feel like the same way kind of we're speaking?
Map, bro, this nigga, like, you just look at
this. Yeah, bro, it's been. I've definitely felt it. I mean, Ryan's been there with me every step of the way. And as we always say in 136, it's kind of like a meme. At this point, all of us just trust him. We just say, trust the process, bro. Because, like, I remember making the things that trouble me with Ryan. And, like, we used to butt heads on a daily basis. Like, I'm talking literal screaming matches in the studio over like what we wanted done on the tracks. But as time has gone on, I've just learned to trust this man's sound and hear him out as he hears me out with lyrics and what I want with the songs. So for this song in specific, Pierce had sent me the beat and I had wrote a singing hook, and I guess I got some sort of like confidence boost over the 136 shit where I felt that I could sing a melody like what I did on the hook. And once I heard the first recorded version of it, I was like, yo, my hook sounds like shit. I don't have the range to sing this at all. So the first person I turned to was that man Process, because he can sing his ass off. So I had him do the hook for me, and we redid the whole track like 2 or 3 times. And he just pushes me constantly to do better, do different. Like every project, I want a different sound, and like I'm just glad to have a musical partner that like gets how like fucking erratic my mind works. Because every project I want, like, it's always a concept project, and I want a different sound from the last one. And he's completely open to like making new beats, doing different shit, and like pushing me to go in those directions.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Like So shout out my producer 𝐂𝐲𝐩𝐡𝐞. I feel like he's a blessing to me, and that's the same way I look at your relationship with Ryan Process. Like I feel like he was really a blessing to your music, and like when I met 𝐂𝐲𝐩𝐡𝐞 and when you met Process is when our music really shifted and changed to another level. And I think that's important for a lot of artists to realize, is that like no matter how good you are, unless you're working with people that are helping you progress your music and making it sound better and producing good tracks and mixing it well, you're not going to progress to the extent that other people who do have that are. And you meeting someone like Ryan and me meeting someone like Brett or 𝐂𝐲𝐻 or Wilder, it's a blessing for artists like us. And I'm sure Anthony has had those same type of relationships that have been blessings for him. And we're really lucky to have people that aren't necessarily interested in being the people that are putting their voice out there, that are putting their lyrics out there, but they're still putting their pain and their feelings. These producers really deserve more credit than they get. And these engineers especially, they put so much time and work and all that little stuff into making these songs sound so good. Without them, we would be nothing.
Facts. That man Process, like, y'all would think he's bullying me if y'all listen to him. Bro.
It's good to have something like that, though, sometimes to really help. And we talk about your growth, but it's sort of the same thing with Ryan, and you've been fortunate to be there with him alongside all of that, because now your tracks sound so smooth, sound so clean. Everything he does has gotten so much almost to like an industry level that you can't really tell that it's just Ryan. Like he's so good, and he's becoming now like a well-known force in the area. People know Process, trust the process, and in all
he's a
seriousness,
heavy hitter.
like people know that. and it's a testament to you and your growth too. You've helped add that to him. Like if your tracks were shit, then people wouldn't really care as much about what Process is doing.
And
or
people wouldn't
even
know
people
how
within
good
Dim.
he is without you. People wouldn't know how good he is without you, and people wouldn't know how good you are without him.
They might, because he
your
might work
relationship
with
is
someone
really
else, but
beneficial.
still, their relationship is always like it's been a give and take where they both help each other. It's never.
That's a fact.
They're such a great duo and they do such a great job. So you can't deny it.
Ryan's just so naturally talented. I mean, he just dropped a single like literally yesterday. I mean, go listen.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Go listen to that shit. That man is just so naturally talented that like if you work with him for a long enough period of time, I feel like it just rubs off on you.
He's just getting his shine for that now. Like he's dropped a project and it was really good. But like when I saw him perform with you guys within that set on Dim 136, I was like, oh my god, this dude is so underrated because this is good shit. Like this is really fucking good.
That's a fact. Is he Hispanic in any way? Like, does he have? Okay.
Sheridan, yeah. Now I got someone else to claim. Thank you, Sheridan. Fuck yeah, bro.
So that's what I was thinking. I mean, he was speaking in Spanish on his last song that he dropped. So I assumed.
Okay.
He killed that shit, bro. Like my favorite parts of that song is where he's speaking in Spanish.
Facts.
Yeah,
so, and he's so
making
dope.
more like that all the time. I mean, he's wanted to do shit like that for a minute, but like Ryan is.
He sounds like Bad Bunny, bro. He sounds like Bad Bunny.
Ryan's another artist that like is so versatile that like one day I'll walk into the studio and he's making an R&B track, and then the next day he's sounding like Benny the Butcher on some like drug shit.
Bro, that's another artist. Like I'm saying, I'm proud to say that people like you and Process are artists that are from my area, and Anthony too, bro. It's like I can be like, yo, these artists are like when I'm out here in LA, I talk to other people, be like, yo, I'm from this small ass place with not that much of a population, and we have this artist, this artist, this artist, this artist, this artist that are fucking killing it right now. And like all you guys have to do is be seen, bro. And same thing with me. All we have to do is be seen by and heard by the right ears, and is everything's gonna take off, bro. And all it takes is one of us, bro. One of us who's willing to put the rest of us on.
And it's only a matter of time. Like
it's only a matter of time because it's
Upstate is blowing up.
Absolutely 100% for a fact. I think it's 100% for a fact going to happen to me, but I think it's 100% for a fact going to happen to any of us, bro. Like any of us have that fucking any of us have that fucking possibility, bro. Facts. Anthony is so fucking ahead of the game. Corey is so fucking ahead of the game. I feel like it's just like it's a matter, like Drew says, it's a matter of time before one of us hits that level, and then all of us are going to hit that level. And I'm so excited for that to happen.
Without a doubt. So there's nothing but a bright future for everybody in Upstate. This is probably our longest episode, going a little long. So I do want to try and wrap things up a little bit. Corey, go ahead and let us know what you've got lined up besides this track or with this track. And is it part of a project? And obviously the Dim 136 project that you're working on. So what do you got lined up?
Dim 136 project is coming through. We're wrapping up a few loose ends on it, but it's going to be coming soon, extremely soon. I'm going to be dropping multiple singles while I work on something special for maybe this year, maybe next year, but we got something on the way that's more unique to me sound-wise. But I got a bunch of singles that I'm going to be dropping. This is like, I mean, Count on Me, Asterisk. This is all a part of just like let's say an in-between time between Sunsets and what I'm working on currently. So
looking forward to it, bro. Looking forward to everything you got lined up. And as always, you're welcome to come back when those things are getting closer to dropping. Welcome to bring all the Dim 136 gang on at one point or another. It'll be a little hard to navigate the show, but we'll figure it out. JJ will probably command the mic throughout the most of it. But Sheridan, what you got lined up?
So like I said, I was working on Corey Corey and Dorotea on a song. That's gonna be coming out when it comes out. Yeah, we have. So it's a trio song.
That's crazy.
I wrote a lot of the song, but Corey and Dora really carry the song. Like their vocals are killer. They really. You guys are gonna love it. I guarantee it. It's such a great song. And then I'm working on another song that is almost finished. A remix to "Steal My Sunshine" by Len. If you guys know that song, I don't know whether people know that song or not. It was a popular song back in the day. And what I did to it, I think, is really cool. So I'm excited to show you guys that. I have the video for "Road Less Traveled" coming and a remix to "Road Less Traveled" coming. And other than that, I have a bunch of songs in the vault, more songs that I'm working on that I'm actually gonna write right after we're done with this show. I'm excited for that. But stay tuned, y'all, because I'm gonna be hitting y'all with more.
Looking forward to that exclusive preview of that Corey track once we get.
Oh,
you'll
Cypher, get it. The mix is almost done, bro. You're gonna get it in the next couple of days.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And you're doing the spring cleaning series as always. What do we got to look forward to?
Yeah, of course. You guys just both. You guys setting the tone. I'm really looking forward to what you guys about to drop. Simple and plain. My last drop just hit 1K yesterday, so I appreciate everybody who's streaming that. Keep running it up. Song every 2 weeks. So a week from today, I'll be dropping the next installment. I haven't told anybody yet. For whoever's watching, the name is Goof Troop. Yes. It's straight bars, no hook. I'm on my New York grimy shit. You know what it is. Feel me? Telling my story in the way that I want. So tune into that. I hope I'm gonna be playing it on Facebook Live a couple times through the week, and dropping the cover art very soon.
Hell yeah!
I'm very excited. You know, yesterday I sat down and plotted my release schedule for the rest of the year. And if I stick with this release schedule, I have a song every 2 weeks and 2 projects out before Halloween.
Oh, shit.
I'm tweaking.
It's gonna be busy.
Somebody got to stop me, bro.
I'm excited, bro. I've been so excited for you to drop more music, bro. I just want to hear what you've been doing.
Bro, because I'm getting this.
Send me some exclusive, please.
I'll send you one exclusive.
At least one. I'll take one.
I'm really excited to show what I got. You feel me? I don't want it to be known at all.
That's a fact.
It's a tough thing too, man. That's something like I obviously not as an artist. It's easier for me to preach this, but I preach it so much. Like, and it's weird for me because I'm looking for exclusive, having a website and everything. But I try to push artists not to do that with your friends as much, and it's hard because you want to show off your stuff, but when you give it away to your friends, those are the ones who are your guaranteed streams, and they might not tune in later.
People don't realize that, or maybe they do and they don't care, but that's a big thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tune in.
It's tough to wait. It's tough to wait, but building up that suspense helps too. Like for your friends, they're like, "Oh fuck, I want to hear it. So
I used to hate to say shit like this because like I had too much pride or whatever. But like I am a fan, bro. Like I am a fan of you. I'm a fan of Corey. Like I beg to hear your guys' like unreleased shit, bro, because it's like magic to me, bro, and it makes me proud to be from the area that I am, that has so many talented people to like share their shit. It's magical.
It's my favorite part of Upstate Aesthetic is getting music early. So like, yeah, I can understand that for sure.
I gotta, fuck, what was I about to say? There's gonna be people that like colorblind more. There's gonna be people that like Blur more. But I can say with 100% confidence that I'm making the best music I've ever made. You gotta realize that the release schedule that you guys are getting are songs that I've made a year ago. You're on about a 6 to 12 month backtrack, but as soon as these projects start kicking in, and I plan on dropping a lot of projects, and like mixtapes, small EPs, albums, like album. I could say album. But like I have a lot of stuff to get off my chest, and with this setup coming in and me recording at the crib, I want to get it out because I'm about to dive into a new sound that I've never even experienced.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm so excited, bro. Like colorblind for me, like this to some people this might sound like okay, like whatever, but I've listened to a lot of albums. And for me, Colorblind is within my top 200 albums. And like other people will be like, okay, like whatever, like 200 albums, but
It's an upstate classic, bro. It's an upstate classic.
I've listened to thousands of albums, bro. Like probably 5,000 albums, and most of them like industry type artists. Yeah, Colorblind is a classic, bro.
It's an upstate classic for sure, and it just shows what Ant is capable of and what we have to look forward to as fans of Ant and just collaborators with Ant on the Cypher. We're gonna next week. You should be able to hear Goof Troop on the Cypher. So I'm excited. We're excited for all this. Upstate Aesthetic doesn't necessarily have too much planned in terms of we're not doing another live from your timeline next week, but we've got some stuff we're working on in the pipeline that's gonna be pretty cool. Whenever I'm quiet, it's when I'm planning something pretty dope for the website. So you got some cool stuff to look forward to over the next couple months. We always appreciate everybody tuning in to the Cypher every week on Facebook. Seems like the viewership continues to grow every week, and we appreciate that, especially through any internet issues we might have at the beginning of the streams. It looks like everything made it through the rest of the show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate Corey for joining us. That wraps up the Cypher, though, for this week. So we're going to play Road Less Traveled by Sheridan to close everything out until next Friday.
𝐂𝐲𝐩 on the track.
Travel down the road, bitches come and go. There's no way to know if they love me. Travel down the road, bitches come and go. There's no way to know if they love me. I don't know if they love me, I just wanna feel lovely. I know there's no one above me, but I can never get comfy. Remember back when I was hungry, I was fed but still empty. And now I'm covered in Fendi. Take every hand that you lend me, make them think everything's A-okay. Everyone is cool but you can see it in my face. Don't gotta plan, everything's play by play. You know what they say, do better every day. Travel down the road, visions come and go.